teams. So it should be a really, really interesting game. We're probably going to see a lot of brawls. We're going to see a lot of fights. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen. What are you thinking, Yoshi, looking at the way this is going so far? Nothing like just yet, but it looks like aggressive picks.
All right. Hi, this is your
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
All right. Take it away, crawlers.
Welcome back, everybody. We had some tech issues. It wouldn't be a VCC OCE tournament game if we didn't have a tech issue. Today we've got two pretty aggressive teams facing off on Lotus. We are seeing Dog versus TFG. We've got some pretty interesting roster picks here. Looks like some pretty aggressive plays will be happening. Lots of brawls. Having versed these two teams in the past, we know that they are really, really into just taking space and absolutely crushing you in your spawn. So should be interesting to watch. And yeah, I'm here today with Yoshi, Shoutcaster.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hopefully, we're here for some good games. Could go to 3 maps. Who knows? Both teams are very strong and very happy to just take fights. So let's just see how it plays out.
So
when it starts,
yeah,
you know,
that's always the way. It's always got to be something going on, but hopefully there won't be any more delays coming into this, and maybe we'll get a record run without another tech pause. You never know. Anything's possible, right, Yoshi?
Anything's possible. Obviously, it could be that we have more tech pauses in the future, but the timer is going down. We're at 30 seconds now in the prep phase of the first round, so it looks like everything's good to go ahead.
And this first round is usually pretty critical on a map like Lotus. It's very important for them to get this win in early. Really sets the mental and the pace for either team. Lotus is a map where if you get the guns, you can absolutely snowball, like we've said in the past. So looks like they're going to be pushing pretty aggressively towards A here. You got 4 on the side of TFG stacked up to fight Dogs in A. It's going to be a brawl.
Absolutely. And Util goes out early on the Whaley Stun, and Paintshill's coming out from Raze, but Dogs here just pulling away. And Yeko fighting Gamonats in Mound, and Gamonats is able to get that first pick of the round, teleporting out into safety into Waterfall. But this isn't stopping them. Usman running in, dashes to sight, spots Gamonats, but gets flashed by Yoru. Gamonats is able to pull away, and all of a sudden, Dogs is now on C side, full control, and Spike goes down. It is a 5v4. It is a 5v3, sorry, with Killzone taking out Absorber. All of a sudden, it's going to be a bit hard to hold here, but Usman gets 2 here. An amazing collat coming out, dashes away from Bombi, who is a bit of a brawl there, and Usman's able to get the final pick on the Bombi. Rosa getting 1 onto Gamonats, and then finishing it off on UQA for an amazing first round there. Oh my god.
Yeah, certainly unexpected, especially with Gamblenats getting that first pick and playing it smart and backing off, giving up C mountain control and just letting them on retake there. But the side of Dogs was going off, absolutely getting 3 with that Sheriff and just denying any space for the side of TFG. You saw TFG winning that initial A fight and Dog just letting them have it and just fast rotating towards C. They might be playing for that sort of strategy where they go to see how many are towards A and just fight for the extra space, see what's weak and go for that. It's a pretty common thing to do on Lotus, so maybe that's what they're thinking. Looks like we got another pause here. Time is not going down. I think it might have been because Yoshi had said something about it earlier. Kind of jinxed us, Yoshi, didn't you?
What can I say? I love jinxing things, you know? It keeps things interesting, keeps things spicy. And yeah, here we go. We got a tech pause for now. So yeah, I guess that gives us a little bit more time to kind of break things down from that opening round. As Crawlers mentioned, yeah, we had a pretty nice pick there from GambleNats inbound, and that just immediately opened up the round. 5v4 leaves you in a strong position, especially on pistols. But you know, Dogs, they were able to convert the round. Usman there getting 3 kills with the sheriff is huge, especially that fight against Bomb B in Mound. Both of them missed a few critical shots there, with Usman able to just take it out in the end there.
It's easy enough to do too, Yoshi. Like, that round was very fast paced. From the moment they took C, it was immediately being retaken. TFG were playing that exactly how I think I would, is just fall off, give them sight, put the pressure back on. But just being able to get that huge double kill right off of C main there from Usman really changed the tide of the game. And it makes you question whether retaking with a team like Dogs is worthwhile, or whether these guys are going to be really good at locking down their sights and taking their gunfights. TFG will be looking to adjust here. Maybe they'll be trying to hold sights more, or maybe they'll just keep going for their patented run it down comp strategy, where they just try and take every gunfight they can and just win that sort of early man advantage and just play off of that. But yeah, it's yet to be seen. It looks like they're playing very heavily towards A and retake on most other things, leaving GambleNats by himself, putting a lot of faith in him to be able to win that out. And like we saw from the previous round, he has the talent to be able to just get his one and get out for free. Chamber, especially, a very strong agent to do that. Just being able to get out of a situation, even if he misses a shot, there's nothing really lost. It looks like we might be starting here again soon. Just looking to see if everyone's available. Yeah, it should be good to see. Interesting pick on the Clove as well. Typically, you see Omen on this map. You know, he's just dominant with his utility. But yeah, Clove is just being able to take fights, and very much in line with TFG's doctrine of just run it down and shoot. So yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see who wins this next round out.
Absolutely. With the clock coming down, it's going to open up the start of the round, and GambleNats going for that early pick onto Mound. Sees the Cypher camera and unfortunately has to push off. Usman able to get a little bit of damage on, and pushing in with the Judge. All of a sudden, C is just open. All of Dogs getting in for, you know, free, basically. Just a little bit of damage onto Usman there. And they're able to get the spike down uncontested. But you have got TFG starting to round to them. You've got 3 on the flank coming in through C lobby, but the Cypher Trip does catch them there. Carlson throwing the flash in to fight into Mound, fighting Manager, who's able to get the first pick of the round. Benchel comes out from Bomb B, but they're backing off in C lobby. Manager being too much of a presence there to push in comfortably. But Usman's able to get the pick onto GambleNats, and it's all but another one onto Bomb B. Very bad aim, picking up Rossi, and Usman picking up one more onto very bad aim. All of a sudden, it's gone from almost full teams to a 3v1. UQA in a clutch situation here. Classic in hand, unable to hit their shots onto Usman, who's able to swing in with the Judge and get the final kill of the round.
You know, another fantastic showing from Dog, even with the weapon advantage. Just the decision to take C Hole right after taking C site was really what brought that round in for them. You know, being able to take that space, wrap around and come water and just kill anyone who's preparing to try any kind of retake there is really the best case scenario when you're taking C. You're looking to take that extra space. You're looking to deny the defenders the chance to pinch you with utility. And that's what Dogs did here perfectly. Yeah, how are TigerFang going to adjust to this?
Yeah, we can see they're still putting a lot of util into a lobby here. But Dogfight, they don't care. They're already running through C Mound. The clone coming out from Yoru and flashing in onto site. You have GambleNats set up in Ben here, but is able to TP out, not getting hurt from the engagement. plant starts to go down, and all of a sudden, Dogs has control of C, but there's not much else there. It's just that side control with the rest of TFG split between Waterfall and Halls. Slowly starting to move in, Whaley recalling out. Very bad aim, and Carlson looking to come in. Gebenats gets taken out by Onyeko, who then is traded out by very bad aim. Usman getting the blade onto UQA. Carlson getting the trade back. Zorba is able to pick Bombi here, and flashes are coming out with the rest of a Dog sitting in Mound. Tap on the defuse goes out, but the aftershocks there to push them off. Here we go, very bad aim, pushes through the smoke. Ross is able to pick Carlson, very bad aim gets Zorba, but then Manager closes out the round for their team. And all of a sudden, that's a bonus round there in the hands of Dogfight.
Yeah, Dog coming out of that round with better guns and really just the ideal situation to start the game off. I mean, taking those rifles out of the hand of TFG and just having that now economic advantage, the chance to snowball, it's going to make it very difficult for TFG to stand on their legs here and hit the ground running. They've got to do something. They've got to get this Thrifty off. We have seen in the past that Buckies have been quite effective, especially with people who are quite aggressive, and it looks like there's 2 in the hands of TFG. So maybe they can make something work here. Maybe they can punish them for a bit of an over-aggression and a bit of an overconfidence. We'll find out soon as they push A.
Yeah, we can see the adjustment here. TFG has moved over to C, which has left A wide open. Zorba's able to get that first pick on the aggression from GambleNats there. That's a huge advantage in the hands of Dogs here. And they're just closing in on A. Flashes come out from KO from the top side of A, but they don't care. Dogs is able to push in, gets 3, just like that. All of a sudden, Carlson is the only defender left from TFG in drop, looking for anything with his Bucky, but unfortunately Rossi's able to swing around and headshot him, taking him down, and that's a flawless round.
What can you do if you're Carlson there? I mean, you're stuck in a corner and you've got Usman jumping around, making a lot of noise, not sure where to hold. You can't blame him for being a bit confused in a situation like that. Looks like Usman's going to get rid of that Outlaw and opt to go for a Vandal. Again, as we were saying post-rounds, that these guys are very aggressive on both sides of the teams, and it just seems right now that it's going in Dog's favor, especially having the ability to really just play with the stacked manpower, having 5 versus 3 or 2, depending on the side, really giving them advantage on this side of the map.
100%. And we can see here the adjustment's still there. You've got the stack from TFG set up on C, especially sitting in Mound, and Dogs are just fighting in A. They've got some presence there from 2 of their characters sitting in C lobby, but they're just pulling out. They're giving it up. They don't care. They can see that there's a free side to take here on A with relatively low contestation. Bombi sitting in the smoke at stairs and walking through the cage. Doesn't spot anything, but all of a sudden Usman's on site, able to pick Carlson sitting below there, and then all of a sudden Bombi is able to look for this fight here at top site. Boombot spots Usman, but Usman drops off top site down to middle site, and all of a sudden Zorba getting one onto UQA. That opens it up even further. Gebenats getting a kill on Rossi, and Bombi trading it out. Is now a 3v3 with Rossi and Zorba going down. Satchel's coming in, being a distraction. Gebenats getting the headshot onto Usman with his Sheriff there. Onyeka getting the kill onto very bad aim. 2v2. Go other way again. Gebenats getting one more, and all of a sudden, it tapped this bomb here. Bombi and there we go. Onyeka getting the pick, but Bombi's able to get the final kill of the round and has plenty of time to defuse that spike, bringing the first round for TFG here.
If I was TFG, I'm pretty happy about this. Finally starting to find answers, starting to find openings in Dog's aggressive playstyle, and despite the fact they got the victory, that was still a very costly one, as you can see, reflected by their economy, with a couple of them aiming to force here. UQA sitting there with a Bucky, changing his mind and saying to their classic. They do still have plenty of ults here that they could use to really stem the tide of Dogs. Dogs, whilst it's unfortunate for them to lose the round, it's hardly the end of the game. TFG still need to bring some answers to really put the pressure on here.
100%. And again, the response has come from Dogs here. Instead of showing a 3-man presence on A, they're just stacking on C here, looking to take a fight against GambleNats with their Cypher lurking in B main. And Whaley dashes up, is caught out by Zorba. Unfortunate whether that was a misinput, but the bait comes out from Usman onto the shot from GambleNats and just run and guns him down. And the Clove ult coming in from very bad aim, but is unable to actually confirm that kill to keep them in the round. Usman getting another pick, and Bombi getting one from Halls. Looking to pick one more, gets the second onto Usman. It is now a 2v3. Very winnable for either team here. Smokes come out from Hall, and the blind is on near siding Bombi on Raze. Aftershock comes out, putting pressure onto that waterfall position. Manager gets the pill onto Bombi, and the final one onto Carlson to end the round. There's another round in Dogfight's hands.
You can see TFG are starting to find answers here, especially Bombi, just being able to get some kills and finding them not holding certain angles, Dogs just over-aggressing and sometimes just losing fights that they should not be losing. Just confident, taking those fights, willing to just go in and hunt them down, get that scoreline on their favor. Eventually, this overconfidence has got to come back to bite them. But for right now, it's working for them. You know, Usman just absolutely popping off and his team just holding the line so he can go and do pretty much whatever he wants on this map.
We are looking at a slightly different setup from TFG here. Instead of stacking C, they seem to have stacked B, looking to push out, and now able to get some damage onto Onyeka with the decay coming through from very bad aim. And the Classics are just going to start pushing through, with Dogs pushing in through tree. A 4-man stack, and Onyeka staying behind in roots to get that final kill. But that's with the ultimate from Chamber, getting that AWP shot and the kill, and converts another one onto Rossi. That's 2 for the defense here. UQA peeking out, but is traded after getting a kill onto Manager. Usman picking up a second onto GambleNats. 2v2. Again, either way, Zorba gets the kill onto Carlson, and that's a huge advantage here. Even if the KO can still be revived, I don't think Carlson's going to be able to have that happen. Very bad aim. Getting a shot here. And the knife coming out from Usman onto very bad aim. Unfortunately, very bad aim, just unable to find those few shots needed to take him down.
You know, he just didn't get any value out of the shorty there, so he said, you know what, I'm already in his face, I might as well just do this. Man to man, pulls out the knife and just goes in, and it paid off. Very bad aim, just a bit shaken up by that early push. And, you know, it's hard to hit those shots with a Sheriff when there's someone straight in your face. I don't think anyone can blame him for that situation. TFG still finding no answers to Dog, but it looks like they might have read this play here. We've got 3 of them towards C main. Might be able to make something happen here, get another win.
Onyeka's able to get the first pick of the round onto very bad aim, and the Waylay ultimate coming through, slowing down the entire attack. Bombi's able to get a pick onto Zorba. Onyeka gets the trade onto Bombi, and Usman getting one onto UQA. Carlson gets the Jet here, and one more onto Manager. GambleNats gets one more to Rossi, and Carlson getting the third of the round for himself onto Onyeka. And there we go, that's another defense round. Over in 20 seconds, pretty much.
What was that round? You had the Waylay ult come out and, you know, absolutely hit Usman, but he still manages to get one. And then you have Carlson jump in front of 3 people and spray transfer 2 and get the third with a classic jump shot through a box. Like, that's just the perfect example of just a Valorant moment. Just everything in that round, you know, the utility was fine, everything went well, the early picks on the side of Dogs, but again, just Valorant moment with Carlson managing to pull 3 and just bring it back to the side of TFG.
Well, he dashes through into rubble, but Manager is there to pick up the kill and is able to take that spot for himself. And the map is starting to rotate. Very bad aim. Sitting in B main, gets one. Unable to pick up the second with Rossi trading them out. But a lot of damage is done here. Rossi is sitting on 20 HP. GambleNat sitting in Waterfall here in C-Link. But moving back to C. Cautious of an approach onto the side there. Bombi holding the A-Link, holding for anyone to push out from B main, where it looks like Dogs has set up. Manager is sitting back in the T-spawn here, looking for a lurk. Ooh, but the timing, Carlson pushing through, able to slip through the trips due to the Onyeka being dead here. But then here we go, 2 picks instantly. Usman onto Carlson on the flank, GambleNats onto Manager. And the ultimate comes out here from Breach. GambleNats able to get the pick, teleports away, safe, unharmed. Able to reposition for a 2v2. GambleNats sitting in Waterfall, and his teammate Bombi here sending the boombot through. Just holding for that top site. Just misses the shot, and Zorb is able to get the plant down on Bend. 2 duelists versus 1 duelist and 1 sentinel. GambleNat swinging out, gets the kill onto Usman. 28 HP though, he's low, but he's able to get the final kill onto Zorba. The quick scope in on the operator. just absolutely clapping him.
What an absolutely insane round. Again, just more of that Valorant randomness, that Valorant timing we're seeing, but also just gamble nats. A massive round from him. I mean, just being willing to sit there and tank that breach ult and just get the shot and CP out. You know, that's not something you'll typically see. Most people are just like, okay, I'm ulted, I'm out. But Gambles that said, not today. I'm holding this side. I'm not letting you guys take it. Knew this round was huge for them, and it's starting to tip into the favor of TFG here. Dog's over-aggression and that overconfidence I was talking about before, finally coming back to bite them, just making silly mistakes, not holding their flanks, allowing Kyleson to come around and really just catch the timings. And yeah, just very interesting round so far. It's been a real treat to watch.
And just like that, the round is off to a quick start. Usman is over at the top of rubble, looking for anything, but is smoked off by very bad aim. Bombi is getting utiled out and is unfortunately taken out by Rossi, who's able to get the first pick of the round. And the teams are just setting up to fight in A here. The Cypher ultimate coming out, and that pings all of the players on TFG. So now Dogs know exactly where they are. Manager TPs over to C site where there is no one there. It is completely open, and the rest of Dogs are able to quickly run around to back him up. But very bad aim, able to get one kill onto Onyeka, and that brings it into a 4v4. But Osman sitting in B main might be able to catch him here. And the knives get the kill. Manager also gets one onto Carlson. It is now a 4v2. Unable to get this third onto UQA, who's able to take out Osman. It is now a 2v3. And the defense, TFG, moving in to try and find a pick where they can. UQA looking for a kill onto someone in C Mound here, but Gemonas is able to get one onto Zorba, 2v2. Will UQA check the boxes where Rossi is tucked away? He does not, but goes punished for it. Rossi gets the kill onto UQA. Manager running away to not die from Spike. Chambers sitting quietly again when that's looking for the pick. But Manager doesn't give it to him.
Managing to save that operator for Gamble, and that's just pretty huge there. Might be able to still just hold pretty good control C main with it. You saw that UQA not clearing that box was... you know, he had an inkling that someone could have been there, but with the time ticking down, he just had to take a risk. And unfortunately, he miscalculated that little box spot. Is very annoying on this map. And unfortunately, again, just not clearing it really made it difficult to be able to retake and win that round.
And the quick movement comes through. Jet able to dash through. Osman has that rubble control. Sees one in Bomb B, but Bomb B is able to get the kill, and very bad aim is able to pick up one more onto Onyeka. That is a pick in B main and a pick in A main here. Bomb B getting stunned, but is able to dodge it. Manager looking to fight him here. But the jiggle peaks from Bomb B is just enough to know that there's someone there, but not committing anything. The wide swing comes through, but after Manager's already pulled off the angle. And Dogs is looking to reposition here. Manager staying in rubble, but the rest of his team slowly moving back into a lobby, with TFG starting to rotate in. 3 now holding that MA position. UQA dashing in, but immediately recalls out. Getting that info, that Manager, and is the only person there, and starting to move out himself. Gamonet's moving around through C lobby, looking to get something here. But the timing, you have Dogs moving into B main, where UQA is set up in that top side position with a high-low, but the Euroflash comes through, and very bad aim is able to pick up one onto Zorba, with UQA picking one onto Rossi. Manages the last one left on the team, fighting by himself in B main, getting circled through, sees Bombi, and is unable to pick up the kill, with Bombi finishing off the round for TFG.
That was a really good crossfire hold there between Yuka and very bad aim there, just helping each other out, making sure they're not getting pinched from either side. You know, when UQA got flashed, very bad aim was right there and stopped the flood coming through. And when very bad aim managed to get stunned there, Yuka returned the favor and just kept each other alive. And that's the idea of holding something together, playing together. And they showed that they have that skill, they have that talent to be able to help each other out and lock down a site and stop the flood coming through from Dog.
And we can see here that the hard aggression is no longer present for Dogs. The camera spots the 2 in B main, but this is unfortunate destroy. Bombi able to get that first pick onto Onyeka, almost body blocked by UQA, but is able to escape, dropping the orphan replacement for a... Oh, never mind. He's picking the AWP back up, and Dogs looking to reposition. Unable to find anything. Not that TFG is giving them anything to begin with. Carlson pushing up into roots here, holding that position, just making sure that no one can get through, or if they do, they'll know about it. But Dogs are looking to poke away at C here. 4 of them set up in lobby, and Util's coming through, but Gamonats does get near started by his own team, unable to convert any kills there with Gamonats taking him out. Utility coming out to push Gamonats off of that position, but gets destroyed by the judge, coming in to pick him up from Ben by Osman, who's then able to swap for a Vandal and get the kill onto UKA through the smoke. 3v3. It's well balanced and can go either way here. Dash coming through as well. Osman looking to take a fight into Waterfall. They know there's Bombi there with the Broombot coming through and getting destroyed. Carlson peeking through the smoke on main. He's able to pick up 2-1 onto Manager, then onto Osman. Fighting in Ben. Rossi gets taken out by very bad aim on site.
This is a really, really good result for TFG here. They look like they were really struggling at the start of this match, but they managed to pull it back. I mean, we've seen great individual plays from all of them, and then they started pushing more towards team play. TFG making the adjustment, going away from their usual run it down and have fun to a bit more of a discipline, bit more of a team play sort of style. I mean, that example in B main where, you know, UQA and Very Bad Aim just helped each other out, stopped the flood. Even that B main peak where Bombay peeked out with an op, immediately following up of it was Yuka using the slow just to stop them from re-aggressing and trading that kill, even if he did almost body block. Now that the rounds have been flipped, we'll get to see TFG and their more run it down, hope for the best sort of style. It should be very interesting to see whether they're going to keep that up or they're going to go back to this more disciplined play that we just saw in the last half.
Trades have definitely started going the way more of TFG in these last few rounds. Let's see if that can maintain. The Trip gets Bombies, he tries to satchel out and is unable to find anything. Managed to get in the pick through A-Link here. Utility coming out, Very Bad Aim getting one onto Zorba. It is a 4v4. Osman getting a pick onto Gamble Nats, and all of a sudden, 4v3. The attack here.
You see, it was a very smart decision going up main just because they were going to get pinched and be main.
Of course, and they have got that A site control with kind of the map being flipped. TFG going to the CT spawn, and all of a sudden Very Bad Aim is trying to fight a few of them on his own, unable to pick one or get out with Manager getting the kill. UKA fighting a 1v4. And Yoko able to get some damage on and able to confirm the kill on top site. And they're able to then move it in to pick the defuse with Rossi. Not quite defusing yet. A little bit of celebration.
A little bit of that competitive spirit we're seeing between these two teams. I suppose you'll get that with teams that like to run things very similarly. I'm not sure how much more I can comment on this.
Yeah, it's they, you know what, they had fun. We'll leave it with that. They had fun.
We got to give credit towards TFG there, taking B side, realizing that they're immediately just going to get flooded and just deciding to take the fight, going up B heaven and just going around the world essentially and deciding to end towards A. Unfortunately, the call must have been a bit unexpected because the execution of it wasn't great. It sort of looked like they were a bit confused and got separated, and Dogs was able to just capitalize on that.
We'll see if a map reversal happens here again, but the Waylay dash in from Yukure is able to spot Onyeko with the Outlaw, who's able to then pick up a kill onto Bomb B, but not before the Paint Shell is able to take out the Trip, leaving that C-man open. But Gamonats is able to then get the cheeky pick onto Usman there. That sure putting in a lot of work, and they're instantly going to start flooding in through A. It's left open with Dogs just on the other side of the map. They are starting to circle in, one in stairs and one on top site, with now Rossi backing up Zorba. But TFG is able to move in, managed getting a pick from Drop. Zorba getting one through stairs onto Gamble. That's a Very Bad Aim is able to pick up that trade onto Manager. Spike is down. They're having to play post plant here. Very Bad Aim able to pick up one more onto Rossi. And Zorba able to get the trade. UQA is set up here in just below stairs. You can hear the Onyeka running around on site, but doesn't know exactly where they are. Circling around, the tap comes out. UQA getting the kill onto Onyeka, and has to just hope that Zorba's not on, which he wasn't. And he's able to then get the kill and defuse the spike there.
Such an unfortunate moment where you saw that Hugo jumping through that smoke. It would have just exposed his shoulder to Zorba, just giving him the advantage in that fight, knowing that he hasn't been seen, especially the spray coming afterwards, just confirming for Zorba that he's still not, that his position's not known, just being able to take his time and play there. It was a really good retake on that A side. It looked like it was going well and truly in the favor of TFG that round, but yeah, just Dogs being able to bring it back and get that round win. We're looking at 5-9 now, and it's starting to get dangerous for TFG. They need to start winning some rounds here.
We have got the bonus round, which could be their chance to turn things around. And already we can see 4 of them set up in C mount, looking to fight onto C site here. Onyeka's just holding though. He's got his camera to be able to spot out any entries. Unfortunately, does get blinded from Carlson, who then Yuko is able to push in and get the kill onto Onyeka. So that is the first kill of the round. Manager pushing through the smoke, able to spot Carlson. Unable to get the kill though. Carlson's able to get off the plant and slams Manager down. Here we go. We have the spike planted. Osman fighting. Very bad aim. And unable to get the kill with Zorba. Trading onto Bomb B. But TP's out. Has to make the long trek back to site. Obviously jump spotting. And gets a little bit of intel for his teammates. Flash ready in hands. There we go. Util comes through. Very bad aim is there to answer. Gets the kill. And Gamonets finds the final kill of the round onto Zorba. It's a big round for TFG there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they need to make sure that they can keep snowballing off this round. They did have the gun advantage there, and still losing one can be a bit of a problem. But all in all, it's a pretty good outcome for how the previous rounds have been going. Yeah, hopefully TFG can keep this up and start bringing these rounds back in their favor. They're only down 3, and they are on attack, so anything is possible. Knowing TFG, they might go back to their more aggressive style. It looks like there's going to be a brawl in A main here. 4v4 with Gamble Nats holding B main. Should be interesting to see.
And Yukio is able to dash through, but gets picked by Usman. A very quick opening kill in the round. Gets the second onto very bad aim, who pops their ultimate, but able to revive. Rossi gets the kill onto... Oh. Lots of things are just happening, sorry. Rossi gets the kill onto Bomb B, and all of a sudden it's a 4v2. Onyeka is set up in C main, and gets the kill with the shorty. Is he able to find the second one onto Gamonats? No, Gamonats gets the kill himself, has the orb in hand, but gets flashed by Rossi, who swings through and secures the final kill of the round.
That's got to be one of the fastest rounds we've had on this this map so far. Just that's always what happens when you try and take that A space. You try and contest it. It's going to go one way or the other. Very rarely do you get out of that unscathed. And this time it just went in favor of Dogs there, just being able to win out that round. This is not looking very good for TFG. It's spelling disaster for them with Gamble Nats not able to buy a rifle. However, we have seen Gamble Nats be able to pull off some insane plays with his pistol here. So hopefully he's able to get some more of those and make up for the fact that he's missing a rifle.
And when you think about it, the Sheriff is basically just a pocket orb.
In the right hands, it is.
100%. But we have got TFG looking for just a big B slam, but they are being answered. The dimensional drift coming through from Zorba, able to identify the fact that they are just committing to this push, is able to come out, but unable to find the pick onto Gamonats, who's able to teleport out. They don't know where he is, just somewhere in that main position. Gamonats sitting comfy and unable to get the kill onto Onyeka, who's able to get him instead. Very bad aim, then picking up a kill onto Usman. UQA is set up in halls here, despite going down onto C. TFG is looking pretty strong here. They have that whole control, but they have given up the space there. Next gets a kill onto very bad aim. UQA getting a pick onto Zorba. All of a sudden, 3v3 can go either way here. Managed getting one more onto UQA. And it is looking good now for the side of the defense. Dogs getting the man advantage, but is quickly equalized by Bomb B. And then Carlson getting one more. Is he able to pick up the last? No, he's not. Manager in a 1v1 with Carlson taps the diffuser. The spike, sorry. Somebody find where Bomb B is, spots him, but is he able to actually then go back and defuse? No, he's running out of time. The Boombot is pushing him off, and he has to run out through halls, giving up the round.
seeing more of those chaotic rounds we've been seeing in this last half of the game. It's really hard to keep track of what's going on in there. At 1 minute, everyone's alive. The next, the trades are coming through. And yeah, it started looking really good for the side of Dogs there, just taking that defense back, forcing the attackers into that back half of C, and being able to pinch them from main, water, and halls. But, you know, Bombay just managing to get that important pick in main and just being able to use his utility to just win out the round towards the end there, just pulling them through and getting that victory for them, a much needed one too.
And once again, it looks like there's a bit of a brawl set up in a main. The Judge coming from Bombay, are they able to pick up the kill onto Osman? Is Osman going to slam them in the head first? The Guardian shot's coming through, and the Guardian comes out on top with Gamonats getting a supplementary kill onto Rossi. Very bad aim. Trading out Osman, though, is now a 4v3 in the favor of TFG. Zorba holding on a Cybers, pulling back and repositions to Tree, ready to catch anyone trying to push through the door here, waiting for that door to open to send out a flash. TFG is set up, but the flank hold is there for Onyeka. Zorba, unfortunately, he picks up UQA, whiffs a little bit, but gets the kill in the end. Very bad aim getting the trade, though. Onyeka, the shorty, coming in to kill Carlson. Is he able to pick up 1-1-2 Gamonats? He's unable to. Gamonats getting the kill with the Sheriff. It is now a 3v1. Manager set up on a site, but TFG is just running away. They're just moving through their spawn, but Manager's able to get one more onto Gamonats. It is a 1v2, 100% winnable for either team. TFG speeding up onto C. They know where Manager is. They know where this last player is. Of course, Manager reading the player they're running to C here. Spike's starting to go down. Audio cue comes in. Manager knows for sure that they are there. Spike goes down. Carlson and Very Bad Aim moving together, hidden in the smoke for halls. So it goes down, Manager gets one, but Carlson confirms the last kill of the round.
The potential for the collat there was real, and it was just lucky for the side of the side of TFG that it didn't come through. It's always tragic, especially in Manager's position there, where you see the vision, you can see it happening, but unfortunately, sometimes the gods of Valorant have different ideas. It was a very well played move there by TFG, just doubling up, taking Hall, just being able to take that fight together. You know, if one goes down, you trade the other, and it pretty much guarantees the round. Yeah, just a really good play. And you're seeing TFG are starting to find answers. They're starting to come back. You know, they've brought it from a 4-round disadvantage to a 2-round disadvantage. A few more could bring it in, even into OT, or they could take this map. Dogs here being on a slightly weaker buy, but we have seen Usman go insane with shotguns. And yeah, it really just depends on where they're going to stack these sites here and what their overall plan is, whether they're going to try and contest A again and hold that shotgun at rubble, or they're going to play more towards sites and punish TFG for not clearing certain corners, as we'd seen before. Tucked in Tree, not clearing out Zorba, but he unfortunately whiffed and got traded out. Could be a point of contention for the future round, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, TFG have the weapon advantage.
And there might be a tech pause coming in here. We're just confirming that. But it's looking like no. The timer is down and the round begins. Again, a bit of a brawl happening in a main. The Waylay ultimate coming out, slowing anyone caught in it, but no one is. Defense able to dodge it, and TFG is able to move in and get that rubble control. Moving up into Tree and into Cutout as well. So when getting caught out by the knife, though, they know he's somewhere in the area. The Judge set up in the smoke, ready to punish anyone who walks in. Shots are going through, looking to pick up something, anything blind, and all of a sudden Breakable's open, that A link. Now they need to worry about that. Flashes come through for the defense, and TFG is stunned in Tree. But Manager gets the kill onto Bomb as he tries to satchel through. Gamonats getting 1 to Rossi, and all of a sudden 4 kills happen. Onyeka getting 3, 1 onto Very Bad Aim, Carlson and UQA, and that just cleans up the round.
I have to say, these two teams making it very difficult for my role as an analyst, because it's typically I got to see what's happening when it's happening, and by the time I have any chance, everyone's either already dead or the round's over. So I've got as much clue as anyone else does on what happened in that round. It started off with a bit of a stalemate, but again, just pushing through and managing to come through on the side of Dogs, just having those strong crossfires, really punishing TFG for not clearing those close corners.
as they go round for round. This could once more be another round for round. Usman taking that early fight into Roots and is able to pick up one onto Bombi as he's near-sighted. Very bad aim swinging through, but is killed by Usman. The collapse shot coming through, and Onyeka getting one more onto Gamble. That's a big kill into C Mount. That's their lurker gone. All of a sudden, we've only got a couple of people, and UQA getting a shorty through the smoke on Usman, predicting where he would be and recalling out. All of a sudden, he's able to upgrade from a shorty into a sheriff. That is a big gun in their hands. But Onyeka is set up in C lobby. They don't know exactly where he is, and he's just ready to catch anyone trying to run through. He can hear the footsteps, and UQA is starting to walk in. Spots Onyeka, takes a little bit of damage, dashes through, and gets the jumping shot onto Onyeka. What is crazy play? Onyeka unfortunately goes down. Manager is set up on C to receive them, though. There are some rifles in the hands of TFG. A Manager gets one on Carlson as UQA just recalls back. Spots Zorba on the flank, but Zorba is able to get that kill for the round. And that is one more for Dog's Way, bringing it to match point.
I have no words for what we've been seeing in this game. I mean, we started off with Usman's knife kill, and then we saw Gamblenats taking a breach ult and just taking one down with his pistol. And then we have Waylay just flying through the screen, just getting that lucky jump shot with the Sheriff. It's just the perfect embodiment of Valorant moment. This entire game, all the timings we've been seeing, all the aggression, just resulting in some pretty interesting situations, and it's been a treat to watch.
You just need to remember, Valorant is a game about precision gunplay. He's about to come out here. Usman getting the headshot onto UQA. That is a clean first kill of the round. He knows that there's someone else like him, and that's swinging with the orb, and he's able to get a headshot again onto Usman. More precision gunplay. But here we go. We still have two of them set up in a lobby, meeting the two players on Dogs set up in A as well. Bombi sitting in the smoke, unable to find anything, but Carlson is able to find one to Onyeka. That opens up C for them. All of a sudden, there's no one there to contest, no utility, and TFG is just going to rotate. They'll take that site for 3. Thank you very much. Bombi setting up on the flank, ready to hold it for anyone trying to push through, but Dogs is setting up through Waterfall and Halls. Carlson moving back as well, and Manager's starting to swing through, teleports in to sight into the smoke. Spots very bad aim, but is unable to secure the kill. And Rossi coming through into back sight, pulls out the aftershocks, so we're getting one into very bad aim, who pops their ult to respawn. But they need to find that kill here. Rossi is just going to run away, knowing that he can save the gun. They have the rounds to make it work. So looking to run away from very bad aim, he's successful, but Carlos is able to pick up that kill onto Rossi.
You're seeing TFG here, not willing to give up just yet. And even off that early pick, just from Usman there, great shot by him, but they're not willing to back down. They're going to run this until the end, and you know they've still only a 3-round differential. They could bring this to OT, and they're showing that they're willing to do it. They're capable of doing it, and they're going to push for it. Dogs, though, bringing these rounds very close, really making TFG pay for it. That round, they just had the perfect post-plant setup. It was very difficult for Dogs to get any space onto C there. Looks like we're going to be seeing a heavy C push here. I wonder if they'll walk straight into Onyeka's setup.
It's a very real possibility, knowing that they have got the Waylay and the Rays ready to just dash in on site. It's a complete turnaround from what they have been doing, and all of a sudden they are looking to flood on in. Bombi satcheling in, pulls out the showstopper, but Carlson's able to get the kill onto Onyeka. All of a sudden there's no one there to actually get a kill with. Bombi starting to push through into Waterfall, looking to claim that space, and you have Gavinet's getting one onto Usman. That's a huge kill onto B there. The lurk coming in and paying off. It is now a 5v3 post-plant scenario. Zorba and Rossi set up with Manager. UK able to get one onto Rossi, but Manager trades back very bad aim, getting one onto Manager and getting a second onto Zorba. What a wonderful attack there.
Insane round from very bad aim too. Just that corner, just being able to get to there. It's a very difficult fight to take, and you can see that's where his aim shines. I know from experience going up against very bad aim, the name is not at all true. He manages to pull some pretty insane shots, and again, that's what we saw there. A really good decision-making from Bombay too, being able to push up into water and get that information that no one's coming from there, allowing TFG to just hold C hold with the rest of the team on C main, just knowing that they have to be coming from there because they have all other angles covered.
All of a sudden, the rounds are now 10 to 12. It is still match points. And TFG do not want to give up a round if they can help it. But UK is able to secure the orb in a main here, which leaves them with an ultimate in hand. Extreme pushing power, ready to go in on whatever side they decide to end at. With Bombi getting the first kill onto Zorba, who's hiding in tree. Carlson getting one more onto Rossi, and then UQA getting a kill onto Manager out of nowhere. And getting a second one onto Osman. It is now Onyeko by himself with the Bucky in hand on a site. Getting flashed, getting netted, getting flashed again. So much utility, and that's what does him in the end. Bombi throwing the paint shell to secure that final kill for the round. It is now 11-12.
Yeah, one round away for TFG to really just wrestle back control of this map. And they're showing right now that they're in top form. They've been struggling in the previous rounds, but in the last 2, 3, 4 rounds, they've really shown that they are got the read on Dogs, and they're just willing to take these fights. Clearing out all those small corners. They're not falling for any of their fakes, just really getting the good read. And we're seeing more of that precise gunplay, especially that end bit there for Onyeko, just being blind, hit with multiple nades, really just being ability spammed. It's an unfortunate reality of Valorant at the moment, but looks like we've got a Yoro coming through, getting all the info towards A.
The Dimensional Drift is a very strong information gathering tool, and Bombi is able to actually get a kill onto Osman as he tries to aggress on a main here. The Waylay ultimate coming out, unfortunately hindering Bombi as he tries to satchel through, but they clear tree successfully. Utility comes out, flashes clear the site. Clone comes through from stairs from Zorba, who gets traded by Bombi. Very bad aim, getting one pick onto Onyeka. It is now a 4v2. Manager cleaning up onto UQA, but Carlson's able to get the trade back immediately. Rossi left by himself in the bottom of stairs here. Has no idea where anyone is. Looking for something in main. I'm able to find something. Swings tree and is able to get one into very bad aim. 1v3. Bombi set up backside, but he doesn't know about Gamonats coming behind him. Gamonats brings out his knife, and there it is!
Returning that disrespect from the first round, just being able to get back, get that knife, and really just hurt the mental more than it probably already is after losing those couple of rounds. We're seeing a timeout coming in from the side of Dogs here. Probably much needed after the last couple of rounds. They've really been slipping, having like really hard time trying to find an answer to the new play style of TFG. They've shown they can play disciplined. They've shown they can play aggressive, and they keep switching up between it. It makes it very hard to predict what they're going to do next. Flipping this back around to attack for Dogs, as we saw in the first half, Dogs were dominant on attack. So if TFG are able to find an answer again this round, they're able to win this one out. It's very likely we'll be seeing a victory going in the way of TFG. What are your thoughts, Yoshi? What do you think they're talking about in this timeout?
I agree with you, Crawlers. They have to be talking about something to switch up the plan. There has been 4 rounds in a row now for TFG, and yeah, they need to. Sorry, not TFG. Dogs. They need to figure out something here to be able to then switch it around. Before they were going round for round, but now it's just fully swung in their favor. So we definitely want to see some shift here in the game plan. And fingers crossed they're able to deliver that for their own sanctity of mind, if nothing else.
And for our entertainment factor, hopefully we see some more cheeky knives going on here. We've seen, 3 knives this game? It's not all that often you'll see something like that happening, especially in a tournament with some of the better players that we've seen. So here we go. We're about to find out where this OT is going, which direction, who's going to get the first advantage.
And of course, the usual brawl in A main happens utility is thrown out. UQA set up in rubble, and Link is opened up. Carlson moving in through to help back up. Very bad aim on B. Not that Dogs is actually buying into it. They're deciding to move over towards C. Manager Rossi and Usman looking to get something there. But Gamonats has the AWP set up and is able to get a kill into Rossi and TP out for free. Usman dashes in, but is unable to get a kill into Carlson, who's then able to get the trade in return. Utility coming out, stalling any further push onto site. That nade from Carlson, putting a lot of potential damage in for anyone standing in it. But we still have Dogs set up in C. 2 players in mound, 1 in lobby, just holding the flank. With TigerFang, they're just starting to get a bit of map control here. They're holding that A main presence, making sure that if they try to push through, they will at least know about it. And it looks like Dogs is looking to try and mosey their way on in. The fight about to go down. Zorba looking to push in, but doesn't actually swing out. Bombi still just sitting close to the archway there.
We're
And
seeing very disciplined plays from both teams. They've switched from very aggressive to really just trying to win it out now.
Onyeka pushes through. Cage is helping to push on the side, but very bad aim gets the kill. Zorba getting the trade back. It is a 4v2. UKA getting a kill onto Zorba, and the Spike is unable to go down. Manager getting killed by Carlsen. There's the first round in the favor of TFG for overtime.
Looks like we're getting another timeout here. Just making sure on the side of TFG that they really win this out. This round, if they can pull it out, they've won this map and they're on to the next with a bit of an advantage. And claiming in the chat that they're watching a clip, so maybe they're not using their timeout as much as you would think. But well, if it keeps the mental up, that can be just as important as good strategy. We saw again in that last round, Carlsen managing to pull run and gun through a smoke, really just keeping in the spirit with how this game's been going so far. I feel like there hasn't been a round that's gone without at least something a little bit goofy happening on one side or another. We've seen lots of shorty kills, lots of bucky kills, lots of knives, lots of run and guns, dashing into people's faces. It's been a very interesting match to watch, and I'm hoping this round will be no different. TFG, if they're able to win this one out, we're on to the next map, and again, that extra bit of mental will really carry you through that next map too. Dogs desperately looking for an answer here. If they can win this round on defense, they might be able to turn it back around on their stronger side on attack.
And the round begins. TFG not begins yet, sorry. That was the timer ending. 10 seconds left on prep phase. That explains why TFG was still just sitting in their spawn. But we can see the Cypher trips from Onyeka are set up on C, ready to catch anyone in. But it looks like another brawl is about to go down in lobby. You guys dashing through into rubble. Usman also receiving him, who's able to get the kill. Bombi looking for the trade though, and is unable to get it. Usman getting the second kill of the round. The third kill going his way on Carlsen. Zorba picking up a kill onto Gamble Nats. Here we go. It is a 5v1. Very bad aim in a precarious position here. Defense is starting to circle around behind him, but he's able to get the kill onto Usman. It's now a 1v4. That's a huge kill to go his way. Looking to move back towards the attacking spawn here. Doesn't clear C. Looks for pick into a lobby. Gets the kill onto Rossi, but he's killed from behind by Onyeka, just patiently waiting in C lobby.
Absolutely, a brilliant crossfire. A brilliant crossfire there. It looks like we're going into double OT now. That round, really just Usman being able to just take those fights and really win them that round, getting those 3 early picks, making it so TFG really can't do much. Usman's just pushed over 30 on the leaderboard, sitting at 32 and 20 right now. We've seen he's been an absolute force to be reckoned with this game. And if he keeps this trend up, it might be very difficult for TFG to answer. Yeah, we're about to see probably a brawl towards B. See if they're going to take it fast.
So far, just walking. Manager near sight in hand, ready to blind anyone who may be holding that close angle. Bombi sending the boombot out. They know that there's someone there. Utility coming out, but Bombi gets caught out by the stun, and all of a sudden is always able to pick up that kill. Usman pushing into Link, but gets picked by very bad aim, sitting in the B heaven. QQA and Carlsen get swinging out from Link, getting 2 onto Onyeka and Rossi. It is now a 4v2. You get a recalling through Link. Carlsen getting the kill onto Manager. Zorba getting the trade onto Carlsen, and very bad aim picking up the final kill of the round onto Zorba. Lots of quick fights, lots of team play, and lots of trades going down.
There's so much happening all at once there. It's hard to really see what the determining fight was. I would say it was Carlsen coming through, managing to get 2 in that retake, really just solidifying the round. The flashes that were coming through as well, making it impossible, really, for Dogs to fight back. Again, we're seeing this rapid sort of play again. This game keeps switching from discipline to rapid very quickly. Typically, it's one way or the other, but these teams are very good at finding the time to aggress and the time to stop, and it makes it very difficult to read either of the team's actions.
I agree with you, Crawls. There are lots of pacing switch-ups that are, working for both teams here. UKA is able to get the clone through the smoke, although I don't know if he realizes it. Zorba sitting on back A, just waiting to receive anyone who pushes through main. Carlsen is getting set up here with Bomb B at Breakable. Whether they'll end up committing to A or switching to B is up in the air, depending on how these next fights go. Could go either way. TFG starting to swing out, and Carl's is able to pick up the first kill onto Osman. Zorba getting the second onto Carlson, getting the trade there for his team, leaving it in a 4v4. The Bombi is quite low. In terms of man advantage, it is a fair game. TFG looking to pivot away, though, from A and meet up with the rest of their team. They've got presence in C Mound and in B main. So far, no contention, although Rossi, set up in Waterfall, is able to sit there and just act as intel, basically, getting information for his team if they're looking to commit. Definitely hear the orb getting picked up by UQ A, and they're looking to start to push into C. Trips ready to receive them, though. Onyeka's got his trips for Bend, and they'll know. There we go. Trip destroyed. Starting to move on to site. Gamonat spotting Rossi in Waterfall, and the spike starts to go down. But Rossi spraying through the smoke. He's going to get a lot of damage onto Gamonat there. He has to pull off that angle. Spike is, however, planted, though. It is now a post-plant 4v4 situation for both teams. Two up in Hall on Dogs, but very bad aim. Is able to get two in Waterfall. Swings through to get a third onto Onyeka, and all of a sudden, it's a 1v4. To go very heavily favored for Dogs here. Very bad aim getting killed. Pops the ult and is able to pick up the kill in return on very bad aim. The high-low, though, Gamonat's able to pick up the final kill standing on that box, and that is the first map of the night down.
15-13 overtime. You know, both teams really just evenly matched, as we'd spoken about before, as people who have been on the opposing side of both teams, knowing how these guys play, knowing that they like to push aggressively, and seeing them being able to just stop that and come back to a very disciplined style of play, really switching up the pace. But TFG just being able to pull the win towards the end there. It looked like it was going in the favor of Dogs towards that last part of the round, but just very bad aim, popping off, getting those huge kills, and really making the play for their team to win that off. We're going to take a quick break between this map and the next. We'll be seeing these two teams face head-to-head again on another pretty aggressive map, Pearl. Look forward to seeing you all there. go. We're back. Map 2, Pearl. Another map where these aggressive teams can really just take space and pull it out. Plays very similarly to Lotus in my opinion, just being able to take those critical lanes and really battle for mid to stop those quick rotates. We're going to be seeing TFG on currently harbor rouletting. Are you seeing that as well, Yoshi?
No, I'd be so keen, even though I know that they won't. I think a roulette here would be an amazing game to watch, even if it screwed with their current strategies and setups. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen.
Being up that 1-0 might make them pretty confident. They might be willing to do it. And to Natural's credit, he did say that they roulette earlier today. So it would be interesting to see if him coming back has made TFG want to play Harbor roulette. Of all agents, of course, it's Harbor. We're looking at a more balanced team on the side of Dogs, going back to what they're really good at with Usman and Zorba remaining on those duelist roles, Manager picking up the smokes, and Rossi and Onyeka playing their same roles, Initiator and Sentinel. Currently sitting on 15-13, the side of TFG, which looks like they are going through with this Harbor roulette, so it should make for a very interesting game.
The KJ and the Sage. This is going to be interesting with a Waylay entry, Brimstone smokes, and Harbor smokes. They don't have an Initiator.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, Yoshi. This is very interesting to say the least.
This is amazing.
They have a lot of. At least they have a duelist. You kind of need that on this map. I mean, the double controller might offer them some ability to really contest certain lanes, but I can't stop myself from laughing. They got very bad aim. Saying in the chat in full caps, "Why'd I get waylaid?" I'm not even going to attempt to try and analyze anything here. They're just going to be making it up on the up as they go. I don't think I can predict anything that's happening.
No, after that bombastic start to the game, definitely not.
Maybe this will give Dogs the lifeline they need to be able to pull the next map and bring it to Ascent, but.
Look,
we'll just have to wait.
Considering how Lotus went, it was, a 15-13. It was a close game. It went to double overtime, so 100%. It could go either way, and this could bring Dogs into a big advantage here. Very bad aim, running it down. B main here. Usman taking contact at U-Haul. And Spike's going down. Gamblenet's getting the plant down uncontested. The Sage will working to protect him. Manager gets the first pick onto Gamblenet's though. Sage will not good enough to fully protect him. Rossi chipping away at that wall, looking to get a Prowler through, clearing that close spot. The Cove here does provide a little bit of cover for Rossi. Manager picks up the kill onto Natural. Very bad and gets one into Usman. Rossi's able to half that just for free. And trades start going out. Bombi getting one onto Zorba, and there's a fight here at the bottom of Street, and Bombi getting the kill onto Rossi as Carlson gets one to finish the round out. What a crazy attack.
I'm not even going to try and dissect what just happened in that round. Just TFG managing to find a way to use their utility to really give them that advantage. That Sage Wall, giving them that early ability to get that plant down and just fall back and force the defenders to fight into them. And almost throwing the round with the Cove, blocking them from being able to stop the defuse, but just managing to pull it back and win it into their favor. Looks like we've got another tech pause going on here, so it might be a few seconds until we see something going back. And off the back of that round, I think every person in the lobby will need a quick reset to figure out what just happened in combat like that. Yeah.
What an amazing first round to watch. That was so messy. Things could have gone so catastrophically wrong. If Carlson didn't realize that, the Cove was covering the Spike just ever so slightly, then that could have just been an instant defuse there. If he didn't swing to go for the kill, then that could have just been the round with half of each team still alive.
And honestly, that wouldn't even have been the most ridiculous thing to happen in that round. I mean, again, looking back and trying to dissect everything that happened, just I don't know what to say. Everything in that round that happened probably just shouldn't have, and it did come down to a 2v2, and just being pinched from street and main made it very difficult for the attackers with low HP to really pull a victory out of that. But it was still very close, all silliness aside. Dog nearly managing to pull that out from under them, and that cheeky almost stuck the fuse would have been a really good victory for them early on, but we'll have to see how they respond to TFG winning this, and whether this roulette team might actually offer them a lot of advantages. The way they played that round, just being able to use the utility they had to really give them the advantage and give them the edge there. And maybe, just maybe, this comp isn't the worst comp we've seen. So maybe they'll be able to work something with it and make it turn to their favor.
Although it is a rough start on attack to have double senti, this could be, if they're able to get enough rounds on their attack, it could be a massive conversion for them on that defense. Having 2 sentinels on the map, ready to lock down different areas of the map, that could be such a huge advantage for them. However, on the flip side, they don't have any practice with this composition at all. So, in spite of that, it might not actually work out for them. And it might give Dogfight the slight edge needed to just sweep through on the map.
Not even just the double senti for defense, but the double controller, just being able to slow people down with harbors, walls, and Brim's Molly being a powerful tool to delay any pushes, especially towards A side. It might not be the worst result for a roulette coming from the side of TFG. There's definitely worse agents that could have been, picked through this. I think that while they're probably not the most comfortable in these agents, it's not the most impossible win. It will just be a very interesting fight. I guess we'll see whether comfort or skill wins here.
When you consider it, it's not 5 duelists. That would be an interesting comp to see.
Well, we've seen TFG pull that off against our team, Redline. They had a 4 duelists, 1 smoke on Lotus, and they managed to pull it off against us. And I don't think it's the first time they've run a roulette. So, they might not exactly be the best team comp around, but these guys definitely have the skill to back it up. And again, we've been talking about them a lot, but we've got to remember who they're up against too. Dogfight, we saw Usman dropping over 30 in that last game, and just being able to hold those sides and take that really aggressive approach. We've seen Dogfight really just take those fights, win them out a lot of the time. And, the team setting up Usman, really just giving him all the utility, landing at the perfect time. On Yeka, an insane Sentinel. Just, anything's possible. And we're going to see it this game.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And the round starts. I was looking for a fight in mid. Bombi stomping around at top mid. But the first pick of the round happens over in A main. Carl's able to get the kill onto Zorba. And we have Whaley just dashing into the side. Very bad aim. Dashing in, getting that space for free, and then just recalling it back. They know they have secret control, but Bombi is fighting in mid. Doesn't matter though, Geonet gets to the Outlaw, putting in work to pick up a kill onto Manager and Onyeka. Rossi though, getting that pick onto Bombi. That's that mid fight finished, finally. Usman is in a link, but is walled off. Might be able to see the top of Geonet's head. He does, but Geonet has the Outlaw in hand, and that is able to secure him his 3rd kill for the round. Natural coming in, doesn't know Rossi's there. They both haven't looked at each other, but Natural knows. He's there, the knife! It happens! Again!
That brings it up to, 4 or 5 knives this series already? It's just getting ridiculous at this point. There's probably more knives in this series than there is in the entire tournament at this point. It's getting ridiculous, just... catching the perfect timings, not clearing certain corners, especially when time's clicking down. You're not able to methodically clear everything, and it opens you up to those kinds of risks. But, I'm sure we'll see something from the side of Dogfight, just bringing it back and maybe returning the favor. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more knives to come this map.
If there isn't, I'm going to be very sad. The wall comes out
possible
from Harbor, cutting off that mid control, and they're just running it down into Art. Zorba able to TP out, but he gets the intel for his team, and they know that that is where they're currently pushing. The rotates instantly come through, though. Dogfight rotating away from B, but TFG are just set up in mid. They're not actually pushing into any sites, still just playing the map. They are working up mid, A link here, and Zorba is ready to receive them. Shots go through the smoke. Nothing connects for a kill. Very bad aim, looking for something. And Gerwinat's just walling up into Con, holding that space for him. Again, both teams are just kind of holding right now. Dogs just holding their defense, locking down the sites where they can, leaving Rossi by himself on B site, ready to just receive anyone who tries to try their luck there. The rest of Dogfight just positioning around A, around mid, and Manager starting to move back towards B, but the Cove does bring them towards A site. Onyeka gets the kill onto Bomb B. Carlson getting one onto Onyeka, though. The trade coming out for his team. Gerwinat's getting a kill onto Manager, and Usman getting one onto Carlson. The spike is down. Zorba at the backside here gets the kill onto very bad aim. That's the spike holder down once again. Spots Gerwinat's in link and is set up to just hold. Both teams pausing a little bit, slowing right down. Gerwinat's pushing out, walking towards main, gets the kill onto Usman, but he is low himself. Plant starts to go down. Zorba's still sitting, and Ross is able to get that kill onto the spike planet. Natural has to go for the plant, and Zorba's able to get the final kill of the round. That is the bonus done for the Dogfight.
Absolutely great round from TFG. They're managing to take it down to a one-on-one, really. Dropping all those guns, making it very difficult for them to snowball off the economy, especially with the guns they went into that with and the comp that they went into that with. Just being able to take that space and not really get contested by the side of Dogfight, just not really holding the space, giving it up and playing for that post lane. It ended up winning the round, but it cost them a lot of rifles in the process.
Definitely not a good thing to have on your bonus, but they did confirm the round. Manager jump spotting onto B long spots, very bad aim, who dashes in to the cutout, tries to walk through, gets caught in the Cypher trip and recalls out though. Bomb is in the hands of Gerwinat, and Onyeka is able to get that first kill up to long onto very bad aim. Shots go through screen, but the revive comes in from Gerwinat, picking up very bad aim again. It is once more a 5v5. Osman starting to push around the flank. He can hear the Killjoy turret ready to spot him as if he tries to push through. Very bad aim, starting to run back though. He swings out, gets the kill onto very bad aim. Osman, is he able to get the second one? No, Carlson getting the next kill, trading out his teammate. And Natural picking up one more kill in the bottom of street there. Rossi going down to the operator.
You gotta be careful when you put Natural on an elo stick. We've seen it in our games, and you've seen it throughout his entire career in this tournament. Just once he has a hold of an op, he's very deadly with it, very dangerous. It's hard to contest that. So hopefully Dogfight are able to find an answer, because especially on these post plant positions with all the utility he has too, just being able to stay back mains and spam util and swing off the op as well, it'll make it very hard for Dog to really play that post plant.
That's right. And Gerwinat is able to push into sight on top of his wall, getting kill onto Manager. Zorba set up at the top of Dig here. Drops down. But he's just sitting comfy. Gets the kill onto Gerwinat. 2v3. It can go either way here. But you have got the entirety of TFG off site. Carlson set up in Link. Natural getting the kill onto Onyeka from main. And the swing happens. Both Natural and Carlson swing out at the same time and able to pick up the kill onto Zorba there.
And just like I said, just having, KJ on an operator, typically you don't see that, but being able to sit main post plant with a turret holding your flank, alarm bot on the bomb, and 2 swarm nades just ready to go to really delay and force them into your operator, it's really difficult to find an answer to that as defense. Just trying to block that line of sight, trying to destroy all that utility without, without being victim to an operator.
We can see Zorba's changed it up. No longer sitting back side of A around Dig. Oh. Questions for pauses to come in, but they're not going through. Dogfight is sitting a bit safe here on defense. Onyeka's able to get the spam through onto Carlson. A good early pick of the round that takes out some of that controller utility. Opens up the map a little bit for them. Natural is starting to push down street though. Swings into Con to clear it. Doesn't see anyone. But Rossi, 100% has spotted Natural. Walking in behind him, looking to get that pick there. Fights are still going down in B main though. And the shots come through. Natural now knows that he's been spotted. Zorba still sitting close with a shorty in hand. And as they push through the wall, starting to get the spike down, Bombi getting that down uncontested. Usman able to pick up a kill onto Natural. That's the AWP out of their hands. And Zorba is still looking for a pick with the shorty in his head. Onyeka pulling out the camera, but it gets destroyed. They spot the very bad aim sitting in screen, and we get the kill. Manager with the Sheriff able to confirm that with a clean headshot. Gamonat's able to get a kill onto Rossi, and Manager is able to teleport into screens. Usman gets the kill onto Gamonat, though, and they can see Bombi Manager getting that final kill, and the defuse will go down. A big round for Dogfight.
Absolutely massive round for Dogfight, and you got to give them props for that. That round started off really well from them. Onyeka just being able to get that spray through with the Ghost and managing to turn that thrifty and getting full guns from it. Every member managing to get something out of there and let their economy snowball. It looked a bit awkward when Natural was able to slip through, but Usman and Rossi just not letting him really take any control off of that and just being able to win out those fights. Manager with a 2K with a Deagle really just opening it up for them and solidifying that round. And yeah, we're seeing the effects of the economy in TFG, but still opting for the Odin and the Operator. It could go either way again.
The eye goes down. But doesn't spot anything. Usman pushing into main. Spots Carlson, takes a couple of shots and pushes back. Very bad aim. Pushes in with Bucky in hand. Doesn't find anything. Takes a lot of damage in return and recalls out. Gamonat's pushing in behind Rossi though. Rossi spots them and moves away. Crawler's coming out, but Rossi gets killed by Gamonat, who pushes in to get a second on Usman. Little self-heal coming through here. And just like that, TFG almost have control of the side. Onyeka getting 2. Is he able to get a 3rd? He gets a 3rd! That is huge for the defense here. Is he able to get a 4th? Oh, not quite. Gets sprayed through the smoke by Bombi. It is now a 2v2. Manager set up in Flowers and Zorba set up in Dig. Natural though, he's got Spike. He's just running for it. He knows that both players are there, and Zorba reads the run as well, setting up ready to just try and stop the spike plant, although it still goes down. Natural, swinging through, doesn't spot Zorba, and all of a sudden, they can just defuse here. They don't know that Bombi's coming through street, though. Slowly working his way down. Needs to clear these angles. Zorba, Dimensional Drift coming out, spots Bombi. All of a sudden, Dogfight know where he is. Manage getting down onto that spike. Bombi getting pressured by the Dimensional Drift. Zorba getting killed as he comes out, but he comes off and Manage gets the final kill of the round and is able to defuse the spike. Holy!
Absolutely down to the wire there. Natural and Bombi had the right read. I mean, if you paid attention to the ultimates they had, just being able to go to the other side, maybe take a bit of extra space, get a pick, and play for the Brim ult and play for KJ's lockdown would have just been huge. Being able to use that orbital strike to get anyone off the spike there, but just the aggression that came through from the aggression that came through from Zorba there, just that dimensional drift stopping Bombay from being able to use his utility, because the second he pulls it out, Zorba just appears and shoots him with a shorty. You never know. So really just putting that pressure on so they can't play that ideal post-plant situation.
That's right. Getting those big kills from Onyeka at the end. Securing that site for the most part. Osman, though, is taking some fights here in A main, fighting against almost the entirety of TFG, is able to escape somehow. 26 health left, but he stays alive. Gun in their hands. And all of a sudden, you've got these harbor walls coming through, looking to get some purchase onto A side. Husband gets one as Bombi tries to run through. Gets a second onto very bad aim as he also jumps through. The nade comes out, pushing anyone close by off that angle. And Boombot comes out, getting some more intel. They know there's still at least one person set up in A main. Again, when that's jiggling and pre-firing Flowers, gets killed by Osman. That's his 3rd for the round. Carlson set up here with a Bucky in A main, just waiting for someone to push, to over-aggress, to overheat.
One enemy remaining.
Manager able to find the lurk here on Natural as he tries to push in. Call for AFK there. They don't believe, and Usman is able to get his 4th kill of the round, turning it from a shaky start at the beginning of the round to 4 kills in his pocket.
Very critical round there too, turning the map into the favor of Dogfight here, bringing it to 4-3. We've seen that TFG so far have been pretty dominant taking these rounds, but they've been slipping towards the last minute, really opting on letting Natural just get those lurks deep into B and try and rotate. But you're seeing the Dogfight are predicting this. They're keeping players heaven, and every time so far, Natural has not been able to find that critical kill to get them that rotate. Dogfight really just finding answers and managing to turn it in their favor.
There we go. We have the 5-man rush coming in down B. Longzorba's able to take a shot but escape with his teleport set up. And the Whaley ult comes out. Bombi, though, gets a kill onto Onyeka, managed getting a pick and return onto very bad aim. Zorba's just looking to escape here. He's got the op in hand, but is unable to find anything. Lockdown about to come through, and there we go. Finds one detained there. Zorba, though, is able to escape with the op in hand. Usman coming in, Boomba in hand to clear out U-Haul. Sage Gamwanat spots it, is able to reposition it and gets a kill onto Manager as a result. But Osman gets the trade onto Gamwanat. That's a even 3v3. Satchel's coming in, and all of a sudden they've been able to clear that whole position. But Natural, a lurk down the street, gets the kill onto Zorba. Osman and Rossi looking to trade back, and they certainly do. It is now 8v2, 2v1. Osman getting a kill onto Carlson, but they need to get the final kill. Bombi getting the molly, though. The huge snarl there on the defuse, and Osman doesn't have time. Is he able to secure the kill? No! Bombi gets the kill and is able to stop the defuse there. And that is a huge, huge round in the favor of TFG.
It comes back to what I was saying before when we first got to look at this roulette sort of team comp. We're seeing that they have an insane amount of post-plant ability, and if they can just get onto a site, the chances are they can probably hold it. Having the Sage Wall would really just get them that plant down and just being able to back off. Brim's ultimate, just being able to secure a round, even if Bombay repeats there and doesn't get the kill, he's just able to play back for his ult.
Smoke's down. That was a quick round previously, which has now come to a bit of a slower start. Although we have got the utility coming in from Carlson, he's still able. So the speed is still a bit slow, but speeds up. Rossi getting the kill onto very bad aims. He tries to over-aggress in a link. Onyeka also getting a pick onto Bombi. Lots of utility forcing TFG out of art here. Manager unable to pick up a kill onto Gamble Nats, and it is now a 4v3. Lots of quick events happening there, and teams are starting to reposition. TFG, Natural is up B main and is able to secure that kill onto Onyeka. All of a sudden, site is open, but Gamble Nats is able to get a revive through. Bombi back up and running. Unfortunately, does get traded out immediately by Rossi, but it does give them that information. There is one set up in COD. Usman swinging through, though, getting two. One onto Carlson, one onto Gamwanats. 3v1. That is Spike down in mid as well. Natural does have that B site control, but he can't do anything with it if he hasn't got the Spike, and he's not going to. Sitting in the back of U-Haul with the rest of Dogfight, sitting in mid, securing that space, making sure that nothing can get in to grab the Spike, and the seconds are just going to keep counting down.
Looks like Natural's looking to save here, but some wishes in the chat that he might crash, and we've just seen that Natural's disconnected, so there could be a chance of a tech pause coming up soon. But so far, these rounds that we've been seeing has been really good, especially from Rossi this round, just really locking down anything that TFG tried to do there. Rossi was ready for it, taking that initial fight in AR, taking down very bad aim, not allowing them to take any space, and then being able to have the read that they're going street and immediately stop that push coming through. If Rossi wasn't in either of those situations, they could well have gone in the favor of TFG. So yeah, just the C's that came through as well, stopping them in art, really pushing them back, and Usman immediately playing off of the call and backing up in art there, stopping any push that TFG realistically could have had in that situation. Just that utility coming in clutch, and I guess it's the comfortability on their team comp as well, whereas obviously TFG are running less than average comp, and one that they're not very used to, so there's going to be some issues there, and we're seeing them come through towards these later rounds, whereas they started a bit earlier, being able to take those rounds because of unexpected plays, but it's just falling through for them now as they're getting into the point of the match where Dogfight are getting a read on what they can and can't do and abusing the weaknesses of their comp. It's very difficult for TFG to start making adjustments to this, especially not being comfortable on their roles and not really knowing what's going on.
Both teams are fighting very hard, though. It is still an even game, 5 rounds to 4 rounds. And it is looking like it is just going to go either way. Both teams are looking very comfortable with what they're doing. It just seems to be coming down from plays mid-round. Like right in that round, we had Natural pushing up B main, gets the kill onto Onyeka. B site is now open. Regardless of that, though, Spike went down in mid. The rest of his team unable to rotate through to take advantage of that. Dogfight finding some huge picks and kills there, was able to just secure them that round. And it's just swinging from team to team here.
Absolutely, and we've been seeing that throughout Lotus as well. Even if one team takes off here, it's not a guarantee. Again, with the 15-13 coming from TFG, when they were looking like they were 4 or 5 rounds down, they managed to pull it back. And these teams, when they go head-to-head, like we were saying in the first map, they're very similar teams. They're very aggressive. They're very comfortable taking fights. And it's rare to see teams where utility takes a back seat, but between TFG and Dogfight, that's the case. It looks like a lot more of these rounds are coming down to the one-on-one gunfights rather than team play. But again, they do have that ability to switch it up. They can show that team play is the core of the game. And when they really want the win, when they're not just running it down, we've seen these teams lock in and really just play together, swing off each other, hold map control, and be able to slow it down and take it easy. And we're seeing a combination of that again this game, especially when the rounds are as close as they are. But whenever the round starts off one way or the other, we typically just see them just full sprinting down one of the mains and just looking for fights, which always makes it interesting with a lot of star players on the line on each side, just really just being comfortable taking those fights. It definitely helps. It makes it very interesting to watch for us.
It's always fun to watch teams brawl it out. It's always a good time, and it's always amazing to see the trades coming through, who's there ready to help their teammates, and just whoever's able to get those trades on top from round to round seems to be winning it out at the moment.
We have seen a player reconnect, so hopefully this tech pause won't last too much longer. We do apologize for these tech pauses. Unfortunately, they are unavoidable in a lot of situations. We've got quite a few people who are all here volunteering their time to make this all sort of happen. Unfortunately, sometimes internet or power or all kinds of things can go wrong. We're hoping that very soon we'll be able to get this game back on track and we'll be able to continue showing these interesting plays from these interesting comps, a traditional comp versus a roulette. Being able to see who can win it out, whether it's skill or team play, that will really, really pull through here.
That's right, Crawlers. And with that, the countdown has started again. Both teams getting ready to set up, although I don't know if Game1X is getting ready to set up. Heal in hand. Nope. Maybe he's just ready to support whoever's going to be entering in. No, I take that back. And here we go. First fight is happening in the main. Zorba splashing out. I'm going to find anyone though, and Natural gets the kill instead. And the immediate pivot here, they're able to get the kill and get out, and Bombi is able to find one more onto Usman. That's a huge kill in A main on the opposite side of the map to where the teams were first fighting.
We've seen TFG deadly on these Thrifties. They won out quite a few. Again, it's their aim that's carrying them through.
But Rossi is able to stop the run, getting a kill into Natural, but the Harbor ult is coming through and pushes Rossi off site. Waylay dashes in, claims that space for himself. Very bad aim coming in and immediately recalling. But doesn't matter, the spike is down, and it is now a 4v3 in the favor of TFG post-plant scenario. All players are off-site. Rossi set up with the Nightfall, and it comes out. Doesn't catch too much, though. Only one member. And smokes are starting to come through. Manager peeking through. They clear into Dig, and Rossi gets the spray through the smoke, but it gets traded out by very bad aim with a kill into Onyeka. Managed getting the return and fire, though. Managed getting one to Carlson. Now a 2v1. Defuse is happening, and they are unable to stop it. Game1X unable to stop the defuse, and Rossi uncontested to win that round.
And this is what we've been talking about, Yoshi. These rounds that seem unwinnable. Both of these teams just find a way. It started looking like it was going towards the favor of TFG there on that Thrifty. Getting those 2 kills, taking all aside, getting that plant down and playing for that post plant. And as we discussed, they have a great lineup for post-plant utility. They can molly off. They've got Brim's orbital strike. There's just nothing you can do when they get that bomb down. But Dogfight saying that they can do it, managing to get the kill on Brim and stopping them from really locking down that post-plant.
And the immediate B main aggression is here. Zorba pushes the flash out, unable to find one though, and teleports out to safety. Still keeping control over B site. Onyeka with him, ready to lock it down, and Manager coming in to support them. Wall does go down, and they're able to destroy it, getting insight onto Bombi, who gets killed with Spike in hand. More sprays go down through the smokes. A lot of damage going down onto Gamble Nets. It's Natural picking up a kill onto Rossi, all the way in B Link. Now they have to be conscious of that space. They know that there's someone there looking to aggress, but Natural has immediately pulled off. Onyeka looking for a pick into B main here though. Doesn't matter, very bad aim is able to come out on top. So they know there's someone still B casting down, but Osman is there to catch Natural as he tries to run on in. So they know that they're looking for either site, and very bad aim is starting to pull off B, looking to rotate back with their team. Usman holding down from top of dig, spots the players in A main, and is able to escape while stalling their own push. Carlson is putting down his wall though, left. But they're not actually pushing in. Very bad aim, starting to move back into B main as the rest of Dogfight start to move over towards A. Manager though still staying in the area. And the read is correct here, as very bad aim is able to walk to site. They have this control, but they don't know if it's clear. Manager coming in from under. Blind coming through, able to teleport out, and stops the plant. There's no time! No matter what, Manager secured that round. What an amazing kill there. Holy! Dogfight winning another round and putting them up to 7-4.
That was looking all but in the favor of TFG again, but that play from Manager really showcasing Omen's strengths, especially with his new silent TP. Just getting that blind off, going past all of them, using his shadow step to just get out of all of their lines of sight, to drop the plant. Even though he got traded out immediately, it was already too late. TFG just ran down the clock. They had the right read, they caught the right side, but Manager just wasn't going to let it happen. And we saw his play paid off, and they managed to pull the round there.
That is such a huge round for them, putting him up to 7-4, 3 rounds ahead. Usman takes his first fight and gets a very bad aim going down, but Natural immediately refrags, getting the trade onto Usman. Rossi, the pull coming in from Fade, but Natural has the lockdown ready to go. They're looking to capitalize on this A site, waiting for that lockdown to go and push off Dogfight from A site. Wall comes out. Gawanat's holding for his teammate to plant. Rossi looking to spray through onto Bombi as he tries to plant, but he's able to get it down uncontested. The Cove providing cover for TFG to escape. Gawanat gets the kill onto Onyeka and in second onto Zorba. It is now a 4v2, although Gawanat is looking low himself. The kill able to bring up slightly. Manager gets the kill down to Gawanat. It is now a 2v3. Eye goes out. Spots Carlson sitting in A main. Bombi sitting back though, ultimate in hand, ready to go down whenever. And there we go. Orbital strike comes in, pushes Rossi off to the fuse and gets the kill as well. It is now Manager who's unable to convert it, going down to Carlson with the Odin.
An absolutely insane half to watch there. We saw that TFG managing to pull some kind of victories out of just, I don't even know how to explain their comp. Obviously it was a roulette comp, and being able to adjust like that on the fly and make something like that work, they're doing something very well. Whoever's calling the shots knows what they're doing. A lot of good reads from the side of TFG as well. Unfortunately, a lot of the rounds slipping out of their hands, even with the ability to play post-plan so strongly, just letting it slip from their fingers, especially with rounds like we saw from Manager, just using that Omen Shadow Step just to get past and delay their time, and really just being a bit scared when it comes to some fights, which we haven't really seen from TFG before. But with this double Sentinel comp, it could be very difficult for Dogfight to be able to get anything here, despite their preference for aggressive play. It's going to make it very difficult for them to take critical space.
Speaking of aggressive plays, Bombi set up an up ready to take one, but is unable to find it. Usman though, Satchel's in, looking to really get in there and secure the kill, but very bad aim, although they take a lot of damage, able to get that kill in return. Recalls out from Onyeka's line of fire and gets healed up by Gamble Nats. All of a sudden, it's like that fight didn't happen. Carlson set up on B, on top of Gamble Nats' wall, and Bombi and the rest of his team are looking to keep that mid and a control. Rossi, though, speaks up on Carlson, but is unable to get the kill. Onyeka, though, immediately trading out onto Gamelnats. Bobby getting onto Onyeka, though, and very bad aim, securing another onto Zorba. Manager left in a 1v4, walks through the wall, but is unable to find anything as Manager sprays him down with the Frenzy.
Again, TFG finding these unusual methods of play in order to get them to win. The read was there, the wall was seen, but just Kleisen was just ready to take that fight. He was ready to get that extra second of adjustment that just let him get through, using the harbor wall to block the sights and really make it difficult for Manager to walk through and grab that spike back. Just very creative plays we're seeing from the side of TFG.
Considering how they got their team comp, that's definitely what we want to see happen here. The round starts. Usman leading the charge with Zorba. Bombi spots the first fight of the round, though. Very bad aim is swinging up to back up his teammate, but circles back. The entirety of Dogfight is out on site. Zorba getting killed onto very bad aim, and Natural getting the bucky kill onto Zorba. Rossi, though, getting the trade in return. Onyeka is fighting in mid with Bombi, who unfortunately goes down to Bombi, getting that kill there to bring it into a 3v2. But plant is down. It is now a post plant on a site. Bucky in the hands of Usman, ready to receive anyone who walks through Flower. Prowler comes out to clear secret, and Yemenats has to fight against this backside presence. Jump peeks into Flower. Underdog doesn't find anything and gets killed by the Bucky in Usman's hands. That is an outlaw down, and Bombi is left in a 1v3. Spotted by the eye, and the Bucky gets another victim, securing the round for Dogfight.
That's a great sort of, he could have come back and take that space and say, no, we're still in this, we're not giving you this half. The attack onto A side was just flawless. The utility just throwing Natural off and having Onyeka get that kill in mid and really just delay that rotate. It made it so possible for Usman to be able to pick up that Bucky and take that fight with Gamblenats and really just solidify the round. We're seeing that Dogfight are going back into their comfortable space with the attack and being able to take all the space they need to really give them the advantage in these fights.
And once again, we have another A main fight from Dogs. Looking for something, but TFG's not actually looking to give them anything in return. People are spotted. Bombi spotted in art, and Onyeka pulls off, but Zorba gets the first kill onto very bad aim, making contact in A main, and immediately Bombi circles back into Link to try and hold sight. Onyeka, though, gets the kill onto Gamblenats, and Spike is about to go down. TFG looking to regroup and cut off sight. The Cove coming in to help with that, but Onyeka still lurking in mid, in art, just being a nuisance. And Bombi suspects something. Does he clear the box? He does not. And Onyeka is able to sit there quite comfortably. Bombi spots Rossi, though, but is unable to secure a second kill with Usman trading out. Zorba getting killed onto Carlton, and Natural getting a shorty onto Usman before Zorba gets the final kill of the round onto Natural in Flowers.
I mean, for the side of TFG, they're going into that with very few weapons, managing to get 2 out. Is a great outcome, especially for Natural there. Only having a shorty and still being able to get a kill is... it's more of that moment that we've been talking about in these rounds where this game and these two teams, we just have the funniest situations playing out. And that's another one to add to the list. Just the chat's very lively too. So it's been a great watch with these two teams, just making a lot of entertaining plays. Whether they're the smartest ones to make or not, it doesn't seem to matter. These guys are here to have fun, and it's showing in their gameplay.
Slow start to the round, though. Dogfight just getting a bit of mid control at the moment. Not looking to commit to anything too hard, but they are maintaining the presence in mid. Looking to start to peek their heads into B Link, though. Boombot goes out. Doesn't find anything. Prowler to accompany it, and they spray through the street. Smoke not picking up anything. TFG still just holding their positions. Carlson is rotating around through towards the side, but Onyeka gets one onto very bad aim. That is a huge kill into Con, and that opens up that entire midsection of the map. The cage comes out, looking to secure that and give them intel if anyone tries to come through behind them. Euro TP comes through, and Bombi gets Zorba as he tries to walk into the dig smoke. Molotov comes out on the audio cue from the spike going down. Odin in his hands. Is he able to pick up anything through this wall? No, he's not managed to. Swings through the smoke, gets the kill, but is traded out by Natural. Carlson getting a kill of his own onto Onyeka though, and Rossi is just sitting comfy in A main. Usman set up in Link, but Gamonats gets the kill onto Rossi, and they know where Usman is. That's a lot of intel gone. The Co soaking up some damage. Unable to find the diffuser though, and Gamonats gets the kill onto Usman, trading in return for Natural.
Again, we're seeing that each one of these rounds just ends in a brawl. It doesn't matter if one team starts on an advantage or not. That it just comes down to whoever gets those multi-kills. We saw that on the side of Dogs, they managed to get in through connector, catch very bad aim, unaware, managed to find that timing, get that like 5 to 4 man advantage, but it didn't matter. TFG just cleaning them up in just an all-out brawl. Typically, you see a lot more utility being used to hold or take sides. But again, as we've been saying, Yoshi, just these teams, they're just disrespecting each other, just taking the straight gunfights. A lot of utility on site, but very little of it having much meaningful impact. Most of it just comes down to who swings who and who wins. And so far, TFG have been managing to pull some good rounds, some much needed rounds, especially being down 2 rounds. It's coming to the similar sort of conclusion that Lotus had, where TFG were down but not out, and Dogs really need to find a solution to this. If they're not going to keep up their aggressive playstyle, if they're not going to take these fights that TFG are giving them, they might really struggle to close out these rounds, even with those early round advantages.
That's right, Crawlers. And as we come into the timeout here, they're 100% going to be discussing their plan going forward on attack. Dogfight looking to try and maintain the momentum they had for the last couple of rounds. And we'll see what plans they can cook up going into this next round. It is 9-7 in favor of Dogfight, but that could definitely swing either way, depending on how the next few rounds go. The map is not set in stone yet.
We could see it go either way, and we're about to find out. There's going to be a brawl towards B main here. Looks like 4 of Dogs ready to fight, 3 on the side of TFG. Harbor taking a position that he can't get out of. Be interesting to see what happens here.
And the util combination comes through, but Carlson is able to relatively escape harm until walking into the barrel of Osman's gun. Gamonat set up in screen, and Natural set up in U-Haul. The Odin spray comes through, destroys the Sage wall. But Dogfight starting to give up a little bit of that pressure. Starting to pull back as they move towards mid. Zorba,
we're seeing that early man advantage for Dogfight as well, but again, previously it's been turned around by TFG, so Dogfight really need to make sure they can capitalize on this, make sure they win out these next fights.
The re-hit comes through, Usman getting the kill onto Gamonats. That's another one in favor of Dogfight. Cypher ult coming in. There's a lot of intel now, and they know where Natural is sitting. Usman pushing through, and is able to get the kill onto Natural in U-Haul, who's unable to do anything against the relentless force of multiple bodies. Very bad aim, though, is able to get his one, killing Usman, stopping that momentum from the duelists on Dogfight. However, it is a post plan, it is a 4v2. The man advantage is very much in the favor of Dogfight here. Very bad aim spots on Yeka and gets the kill. Now it's a 4v3. Eye comes through and very bad aim is spotted. Looks for a fight in U-Haul, but gets shot at from main. Pulls out, but dashes in. Unfortunately, Rossi there, able to answer him and deny him any entry onto site. Rossi shot up with a shorty and an Odin, but only using the shorty. No, that's all he needs. Shots come through from main, from Hall, and Zorba is able to find the penetration kill onto Bombi, and that is another attack round in favor of Dogfight.
Really well played from Dogfight there. They're seeming to get back into the flow of things. Remember, they're an aggressive team. They're good at their takes. They're getting confident again. They're not letting people hold the space. They're not letting TFG hold that critical space. Just fighting for halls and not letting Natural stay alive for long enough for his team to rotate. Really just showing dominance once again. Similar to how they were playing in the early rounds of Lotus, just getting that confidence back, ready to take these fights and disrespecting TFG's holds. We'll need to see more of that if they want to win out this map.
Who's next?
Definitely a lot of smart aggression coming through in that last round. We'll see if we can carry that into this next one. Usman set up in A main, but Bombi finds the first kill of the round. The Classic beating out the Phantom in mid, and that is a free gun in the hands of TFG. However, we are starting to prepare for an A hit. Backside cleared out by the Eye and the Paint Shell. Showstopper coming in. Satchel boosting Usman forward, but the Showstopper proving it is a cosmetic ult finds nothing. Natural is set up with a Bucky in Link here. Very bad aim there to supplement them. And the Orbital Beam coming in to deny any plants. But Manager starts to get that spike down. Natural pushing through into backside. Molotov doing a little bit of damage onto Manager, who's able to get a kill onto Carlson, who gets another one onto Bombi. Gets carried out by Gamer. That's Usman getting one onto Natural, and Gamer getting another one onto Zorba. Usman getting one onto Gamer, and then finishing the round off with a kill on very bad aim. So much went down in the last 10 seconds there.
I'm surprised you managed to keep up with it, Yoshi. My eyes could barely see what was happening, but you saw, again, TFG being able to really hold their own in a thrifty situation. You give them Buckies, you give them the situation to fight close quarters, and they will be willing to take that fight. Usman just having the superior positioning there, being able to just capitalize on the one spot that TFG weren't really ready for, coming out and getting 3 and really saving the round. It could have gone either way there, especially with Bombay's early pick up mid, getting themselves a rifle, and Gamblenas getting that double kill with the Vandal. Really could have gone either way, but Usman just saved that round on the side of Dogfight.
And another early pick for the round on Yeka getting the kill onto Carls, and that was a kill in B Link, and that's going to start moving TFG around the map as they try to cover the hole that is currently open. However, Ultimate comes out, and the site's just open. So Bombi gets prowled out and has to pull back. On Yeka, though, it's behind him, ready to capitalize, and he does get the kill. That's his third for the round. The spike goes down. Onyeka's starting to push through into the defender spawn, but that's not where TFG is. They're coming through Con. Natural and very bad aim coming in to try and pick up something, but Dogfight has got full control here, but they have their backs turned to where they are. However, Onyeka spots the Waylay, spots very bad aim, and Usman is able to confirm the kill there. Natural, now known to be in Link, has to back off here. Just going to save the rifle, as you can't really do much against the full 5-man pressure coming from Dogfight. Just has to save this rifle, and is he able to get the kill onto Zorba? He is unable to. Zorba getting the kill in return, and that's the rifle that could potentially bring TFG forward out of their hands.
Things are looking really good for Dogfight at the moment. They've got great aggression again. It looks like they've gotten rid of a lot of the issues they were having at the start. On Yeka, that round, just finding 3 kills on a lurk. Just absolutely beautiful showing from him. We've seen in the past that he's able to play Sentinel very well, and he can get these timings. TFG has been making it very difficult to get those, but recently it seems like they've been falling apart a bit, struggling to really make anything work with holding their flanks on this sort of comp, despite having 2 Sentinels.
And looks like the plan for TFG is to go back to their roots, start playing aggressive, start playing together for these important picks, and it could be working. We've got Dogfight split between A and B sites, but Carlson is set up with very bad aim at top mid. Onyeka, though, gets the first kill onto Carlson, and Bombi gets the kill onto Usman, 4v4. However, Manager is able to pick up one more onto very bad aim. All of that mid pressure is suddenly gone from TFG. Dogfight able to just completely walk past it, as now they've gotten their 2 kills. Natural, though, spots the players in B main. And the teleport coming in from Zorba, who's able to then confirm the kill onto Natural, bringing a huge power position for his team. Gamonet set up at the bottom of the street with Bombi in the defender spawn just outside of heaven. Gamonet's looking for a kill, gets blinded though, and Onyeka swings, unable to find anything, but he keeps going deeper, holding the position, and Gamonet is able to get the kill. Looking for anything extra, and that gives Bombi a sign to start moving in. Gamonets gets one more onto Zorba. All of a sudden, 2v2 can go either way. The heal comes out, but Rossi gets the kill on Gamonets, who's immediately traded out by Bombi. 1v1. Anything could happen here. Molotov in hand, but Manager is able to sit in screens, gets the kill onto Bombi, and that is the map secured for Dogfight.
Dogfight just coming back into their own there, really going back to their roots and getting back to that attacking, aggressive style. That round at the end there with Zorba just flashing in and getting into that hole space and taking out Natural, really solidifying that win for them. Very difficult for Bombay and Gamble Nats to be able to retake off of that. Just very little utility, weaker guns, and just great holding from Dog there. We saw them bring it back towards the end, get their composure, and just win out that round. Ended in a 13-7 Dog's way. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be moving on to map 3 to see who wins out this round. It's 1-1 currently for both teams, and I believe the last map is going to be Ascent.
That's right, crawlers. We'll see how both teams end up battling it out on Ascent. Typically a very CT-sided map, but it could go either way, really, with how aggressive both teams like to play things.
There's only one way to find out, Yoshi, so we'll take this break and we'll see what's coming up in the future. Well, we're back again for the third map in this series. We've seen these teams go head to head, two maps, one taken either way. And both teams known for being very aggressive, and we've seen these aggressive plays coming from them, being willing to just battle over everything, which will make it a very interesting map this time around. Ascent, typically not a map that gives you a lot of benefits for being super aggressive. Typically, most teams will take this map, they'll default a lot, they'll look for early picks, early fights. So it'll be very interesting to see these two teams battle it out. We might be having another roulette. I'm hoping not, because on a map like this, you definitely need it. And it looks like they're thinking better of it, but that would have been great to see. We're getting a look at Dogfight's team comp here. We're seeing a pretty common look. Potential raise and double duelist on the side of Dogfight. Still waiting to see what's coming through on the side of TFG. What are you thinking so far, Yoshi? Are you curious about what's going on with these team comps?
Oh, as keen as it would have been to see a Reina roulette. Probably a good thing that it didn't happen.
On a map like Ascent, you really need a good team comp to carry you through, and it looks like both teams have opted for a more balanced sort of team comp. However, they both have chosen double duelists, which again is not something you typically see on Ascent. These teams, though, as we've seen from the previous maps in this series alone, they don't subscribe to the meta that we'll typically see in other tournaments. These guys are just going for comfort picks, whatever they feel they can frag best in, and we're seeing that in these team comps. Yoshi, again, off the back of what I've just said, what are you thinking about these double duelists?
Yeah, as you said, Crawler's double duelist. It is interesting to see here, but it does make sense. Both teams have been playing really aggressive, then also been able to control their aggression very well. It's really going to come down to which team is able to secure, I think, the most attack rounds here, or whoever is able to kind of play off each other the best and get the trades, get the team play happening. That's going to be the real game maker here.
And we'll find out very soon, won't we, Yoshi? We'll see what these teams are going to do.
That's right. Some early shock darts going out into B main. Husband dashing through is blinded though, but Carlson's able to use his dart to get a little bit of intel. Gets the kill onto Zorba. That's opening because of the round. And Luofeng is able to reply back. Very bad aim, able to trade back. Husband getting killed into very bad aim. And onto Gamernas. That's two there. Natural getting the kill into Husband though, and dismissing in getting the kill into Manager. That's two of them set up on site. And Onyeka is able to find that headshot onto Natural. Both attackers, both defenders, I should say, just sitting on site. They have Spike there. Onyeka has to push up into them. But they are both
Onyeka
low.
being the rock for this team. It is possible for him to win this out. We've seen him do it before. Will he do it again?
He jumps up, finds his location, but he is able to secure the final two rounds. Natural and Bumby being just too low to withstand Onyeka.
I don't even know what to say about that. Just as I was saying, if he's done it before, he can do it again and delivers right afterwards. Just absolutely insane play from Onyeka going through there. They had that double up and they had the bomb down. Just being able to get those taps through Boathouse, just really securing the victory for his team there, Onyeka. And we saw great aggression from Usman too, managing to pick up two before he got traded out from CT. Will we see more of that in this following round?
Seems to be a bit more of a default so far. Natural getting that first pick on Azor, which is a huge. Manager immediately fires back. The Bulldog outranging and picking up that kill for them. Bombi looking to go in to pick up the gun, but is straight out by Usman, who immediately gets another one onto Game as he turns around. Very bad aim though, swings out and gets the kill in return. The Bucky also picking up one kill for him onto Manager. It's a 2v2. The Bucky stuff into cutout, but is unable to find anything. Luofeng getting the kill with the scout, grabbing Spike and walking through to a site. Carlson is left all alone in B, moving through to tiles eventually through mid.
We've just seen one 1v2. Do you think we'll see another 1v2, Yoshi? Anything's possible with this weapon. They could just, return the favor from the previous round. Killzone could absolutely go huge here. It do have a bit of a crossfire. It might be difficult, but anything's possible.
100% anything is
be a
possible.
rock before. It's possible for him to pull this off again, just like Onyeka did in the round before.
The tap goes through. Spots Hell. Gets the kill onto Onyeka. 30 HP though. Both him and Luofeng are low. He knows where he is. He's seen the shots. And the jump peek. He's able to get the kill though. What an overextension by Luofeng. Carlson cleaning up one more kill for the round and is able to get the defuse with a free gun in his hand.
I feel like these teams are listening to us, Yoshi, because we're predicting these things. We're talking about these players and their ability to lock down these sites. Carlson and Onyeka both being the rocks for their teams. And right now, we're seeing that. We're seeing what we're talking about. These players, their potential, their raw aim, and just the aggression on both sides, giving them trouble. If you play a bit more passively, you wait for the tap, you wait for whatever's going on there. But no, we're just swinging and dying. And it comes down to just how insane these players' aim are. If you give them the chance to win the aim battles, they'll take it every time.
Absolutely. Osman going in for an early pick. Gamonat spotting him, but Osman has to pull out. Shot tag and a little bit of damage. Gamonat's over-aggresses a little bit more. Unable to pick up that confirming shot though. And just like that, both teams start to back off. Bombi sitting in a site, just sitting at dice, shoots the dart, is unable to get any intel, but they know that someone is sitting on A. Dogfight moving back slightly. Spike is down in a lobby. They're ready to pivot wherever they need, and they're just maintaining map control. But Gamonats gets the first kill of the round onto top mid at Onyeka. Bottom mid. And a natural Bucky in hand in the smoke. Knows there's one on the orb. Misses the shot though. Osman knows that there's one there. He's not risking that again. And natural pulls off. Well, getting a little bit greedy. Decides, you know what? I want to get this. Smoke's about to go down. Clears the close angle. He knows that there's no one immediately at the orb. Spots the shots and knows that Jet has relocated. Luofeng set up with his teammates, Zorba and Manager, ready to push through. And they certainly do. Smoke starts to go out, both attack and defense. Clone gets destroyed, but Bombi gets the kill into Luofeng as he tries to teleport to Generator. Gamonat's getting one more into Osman. That's their mid-lurker dead. Bombi dashes in, slides, is able to provide a distraction. Very bad aim, getting a kill onto Manager before Bombi cleans up the final kill onto Zorba.
Again, we're seeing both of these teams head-to-head again, always taking the advantage and then having it taken out from them right towards the end. Every round, you're stuck on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen. It looked like in that sort of post-plan situation that the side of Dogs had the advantage there. Bombi, though, just denying them that ability to really get that plant and solidify, just using that relay bolt, stopping them in their tracks, swinging off of it and just getting two, just absolutely locking in the round for TFG. Yeah, looks like there might be a bit of a brawl towards B main here. It's been quite an aggressive play, especially on this map. We'll see very shortly who wins out this fight.
That's right, TFG have been putting a lot of aggression into B main. Again, Gamonats is set up, but he has got his TP ready to get out of danger if need be. I've been looking for a jump spot. The drone comes in though, goes for the orb, but doesn't clear the corner where Gamonats is sitting. He's able to get a kill with the Outlaw and teleport out uncontested. That's a really big opening pick for TFG. And natural
Gamonats on that chamber roll, being able to really get value out of it, getting a kill and getting away for free. He's been quite good at that sort of role, really anchoring it for the side of TFG.
Very bad aim and natural are set up in tree right now, ready to receive anyone coming through Cubby. But Gamonats gets one more Manager before getting traded out by Luofeng, who's able to use the superior gun there to out ammo, basically, the Outlaw. Onyeka gets one more to Bombi, and Luofeng gets the second kill of the round onto Natural. It's a 3v2. Onyeka gets killed by very bad aim, who's just sitting comfortably in A heaven. It is now a 2v2, but Dogfight do have control over B side here, just clearing out the corners, and they know that they're safe to go for a plant. Luofeng getting the spike down, but is unfortunately killed by Carlson, who moves up lane. Uncontested, Zorba looking the complete wrong way, and all of a sudden has to fight two angles at once, which he cannot do. Very bad aim, getting that final kill for the round.
Again, we're seeing, just as we've seen in the other two maps, these rounds coming down to 1v1s, 2v2s, 1v2s, and just each team just defying expectations there. You know, in the side of Dogfight, they had a solid plant, they had a solid position, but on the side of TFG, Carlson just pushing outside of B main, being willing to take that space, willing to take the risk that one might still be holding out of there, and being able to come back and just catch the planter off guard, just really wins them that round. And the follow-up from Very Bad Aim, just making sure that they don't let them get that plan, don't let them stay comfortable.
You can see a slight shift in plans here. Very Bad Aim aggressing early on from Cubby. Gets a little bit of damage and takes some damage in return. Gamonets is able to then push up, but he's not ready for the attack here to be sitting in, waiting for him. Onyeka is able to get that first kill onto Bombi. That is a kill in a lobby. The over-aggression there kind of coming to bite them in the behind. Onyeka is able to push through though and get another one. Natural going down to the onslaught as well. You have got that site control from Onyeka, but Very Bad Aim is able to pick up a kill of his own. Is he able to get a second one? Fighting the bucking tree. He is! That's 2 in his favor. Gamonet's getting one more into Onyeka. 3v2. The spike is down though. Luofeng waiting for the A7 peak. Gets some damage from the shock dart. Managed to get a kill onto Very Bad Aim, who immediately pops ult to revive themselves. 2v2, but Very Bad Aim is on a timer. Luofeng getting the kill though, denies the presence there, and Carlson has to move in. He's at Dice, fighting Jen. Doesn't know where the last remaining player for Dogfight is. And the teleport from Luofeng puts him into heaven. Now onto Jen. The dart spots out Carlson, and he's able to get the third kill in his own pocket, getting that round for Dogfight.
Luofeng there, just holding down side by himself, really just wanting to win that round and showing that he's willing to do it himself. He's willing to hold that space, not let them down. And, you know, we're seeing... We've seen Carlson in that position before, that 1v2, and this time he wasn't able to win it out. Luofeng wasn't willing to make the same mistake he did last time, using his shadow steps just to be able to create question marks, really put the pressure on Carlson, combined with the Sova drone. It just made it impossible for him to be able to get any kind of win there.
Again, the Gamonet's aggression coming in, swaps out his tour de force for the classic at probably the worst time and has to pull off. Drones start coming in, but Very Bad Aim is able to pick up a kill onto Zorba, who immediately gets traded out by Onyeka, keeping it at a 4v4 even manpower for both teams. Dart comes in, clears out Bombi in tree, and he has to pull off the angle. He has to respect the space there and immediately get smoked out. Luofeng pushing in with the rest of his team. Aspen pushing onto the side, unable to find a kill onto heaven. Luofeng gets the trade though onto Bombi, and Natural gets a kill for himself onto Manager. Still maintaining that A site control. They have spiked down in Gen. Luofeng gets killed from Carlson, set up in glass though, and Onyeka has to make some magic work here. A 1v3. He knows where Carlson is set up at least, but he doesn't check it. He just peeks off the corner when he's about to swing, and Carlson is able to secure that kill.
In a lot of those rounds where you're by yourself in a 1v3, sometimes you just have to take calculated risks. I hope that the person who's just got a kill off there might try and push forward and reclaim some space. And unfortunately for Onyeka, we're seeing that Kyle is maintaining a very, very disciplined stance, not willing to give any more fights like we have in the past with these two teams, not willing to give out free kills, and making it so that 1v3 is just impossible to pull off. Our teams are starting to play a bit more disciplined. It's still very aggressive, but relaxing a little bit on the over-aggression.
And we can see Dimensional Drift giving a lot of intel for Dogfight. Gamonet's looking for his picks, probably overstayed his welcome, but he's able to escape without taking any damage. But Osman pushes into market and is able to get that kill. All of a sudden, Zorba has the boat control and manages able to get the kill onto stairs onto Carlson. Osman, orb in hand, gets the mid lurker on Very Bad Aim. Spike is down though. Dogfight have got that time to play with now. Bombi waiting for the teleport. It unfortunately is faked, and they are unable to get any kills from that. Natural and Bombi sitting still in mid and B lobby here. Now pushing into B. Man manages to get the kill onto Bombi though, and they're just looking for that final kill, hunting down Natural, who is just walking around in garden.
Right now we're seeing that the side of Dogfight are just winning out their 1v1s, and Natural getting pushed off, about to get caught.
And Osman's there, ready to catch him as he tries to escape the onslaught of the Odin.
We're seeing that the side of Dogfight using their utility really well and continuing their aggressive streak, really just playing off of each other as a team. We have seen the individual plays, that clutch from Onyeka, the clutch from Luofeng, but it looks like the team's moving more towards the team play aspect here. That take on B side left zero spaces really for TFG to abuse. Everything was cleared with either utility or just the entry from Usman, making it very difficult for TFG to find an answer.
It is a 4-3. Still a very close game. Natural setting up in cubby, waiting for anyone to aggress mid. Bomb B tries to get into one, gets spotted out by the drone though. Usman is able to get that kill. Natural though, getting a kill onto Onyeka for himself. That is a mid player dead, and Gamonats is starting to push through as well. Zorba gets a kill onto Natural though. 4v3 in favor of Dogfight. Spike goes down, LuoFeng planting in Generator, and Carlson starting to push up into Heaven. Little jump pick as he reloads, clearing the angle. Very bad aim. They get its kill onto Manager. LuoFeng getting one of his own onto Gamble Nats. It is still a very even round. 2v3. Still in favor of Dogfight though. Spike is down, so they have to go for the defuse here. Dart catches Usman as he moves off of Dice. But 1v3. It's going to take a lot of magic to make something work here. And LuoFeng shuts down any sort of trickery or spells and secures the round, bringing it to 4-4.
Again, these teams are just so evenly matched. It's so hard to really get a feel for what's going to happen in the round. Sometimes you can see that utility is better on one side or the other, but right now it's just blow for blow. You know, you had that round starting off with a kill on the side of Dogfight, but immediately it got traded out by Natural fighting on Onyeka down bottom mid. And every single time there's a kill, there's another blow returned. It's just very difficult to really get a feel for who's going to win this one out. Immediately, Onyeka picking off Gamble Nats with an Outlaw.
Going from that mid position into, you know, middle mid, bottom mid to middle mid is a bit of an odd play to get, especially considering the defense has got the chamber there to TP out, but they're able to secure the kill. LuoFeng getting one onto Bombi, but Natural getting one onto LuoFeng. It is still a 3v3 even game. Onyeka though able to catch Natural, so he tries to dismiss out. All of a sudden, the ultimate from Cypher coming through, revealing everyone's location, and Usman's able to pick one onto Very Bad Man. Carlson though, not going down without a fight, getting one onto Onyeka himself. But now, Carlson has to compete against Dogfight. Is able to find the timing though, slips through the line sights of Manager. Tries to fight for bottom mid here. Moves into Catwalk and into Tree. Shoots down the door, revealing his position to Dogfight. And gets the kill onto Usman as he dashes out. What an amazing shot coming in there. Has no idea. Now he has an idea. He's seen the dart come through from Manager from in Heaven. Taps the spike, looking to bait out anything. And that's the ultimate baited out. Carlson though, he needs to try and find some time, and he certainly does. Manager running up, gun in hand, but he manages to jump peek Carlson off the angle, but Carlson halves it, giving him enough time to defuse the spike. What a clutch master! That is the
second clutch we have seen from Carlson on this side. A 4K clutch. That is insane. He's really been the rock for this team. Similarly to the other maps, he really managed to just lock down and hold sides for his team, but that is just so much to ask of him, and yet he delivers. You know, being able to bait out that ult, calculate that 2 shots have been fired, he can stick it to at least half with a third. Just every decision working for Carlson there. It's just an absolute masterclass on his side. That was extremely well played.
Looks like we're fighting again in B main. Drone getting LuoFeng and Usman ready to jump out, and it's cleared that entire position. Clone comes through. No one shoots it. Bombi's set up. Gets blinded off though as Zorba and Usman dash out. There we go. They're getting onto site. Carlson is set up in boat though. Gets spotted out by the dart. Bombi getting onto Zorba, but Usman gets the kill onto Carlson. That's their boat player dead. All of a sudden, there's no one to actively contest that site position. Very bad aim, pushes through the logs, but Usman gets one onto Natural, who stands. LuoFeng getting one to Very Bad aim. Bombi getting the trade back to LuoFeng. Usman though, picking up Bombi. Yeah, well, that's getting one to Onyeka. That's the mid lurk gone. It is now a 1v2. Usman starting to push through into the defender spawn as Manager pushes back into B. Spike is down there, and Gamewardats knows that. They have to push back for it, but the line of sight pulls off. Manager able to sneak in and grab the spike, but Usman allows Gamble-Nats to walk through. Gamble-Nats is set up in tiles, able to push whatever side he wants, whether that is through B main or through mid. Usman patiently holding for market. Not that it's going to pay off. Those Game Nuts decides to start walking B main. Game Nuts at low health. One shot is enough to put him down into the chest. But he has got the AWP in hand. He has the same capabilities for himself. He's clearing corners.
Gamble Nats wants to give up this op here, or there's your answer. He was willing to try and win out the fight, and you've got to respect that. Not backing down, not just saving the money, just willing to take the fight and hope for the best and try and win out that round for the side of TFG. Again, such even rounds, 5-5. Arguably better for the side of Dogfight. Being on attack, having that Sentinel Cypher will be, in my opinion, a lot better to hold down sites and from the aggression of TFG. Chamber's great for locking down mid or taking those aggressive fights and TPing back, but he doesn't have a whole lot in the way of delaying util. We are still seeing GambleNats getting a lot of value out of him, taking those early fights. Whether they can capitalize on and save it is a whole nother story.
The manager does spot Carlson though, unable to find any value off of it except for intel. GambleNats set up in Cubby, Deagle in hand, but doesn't find anything. LoFang able to actually push up and take that space aggressively, clears the corners, and no Cubby is clear, and they're trying to get into tree, clearing that space. Onyeka though getting the kill with the operator onto very bad aim. Natural ready right next to door, Bucky in hand. Are we going to see another huge Bucky play? GambleNats with his own. They're ready to collapse in on anyone trying to over-aggress with the little space that they have. Natural, he sees Zorba is able to get one and dismiss out, but gets caught out by Osman. GambleNats though gets a kill to manage himself, but LoFang is able to trade it. Carlson spotting Osman in tree. Dark goes out. Intel spotted. He knows Osman's there. He gets the kill. Knows that there's one more shot from operator coming through, and he walks through, gets the kill onto Onyeka. It is now a 2v1 in favor of TFG. Drone comes out. LoFang looking for something to work with. He's got that site control, but he doesn't have the spike, and that's what he needs. And Bombi's there, up in hand, ready to catch him as he tries to swing on the angle.
It really goes to show, Yoshi, you cannot count out TFG. Regardless of whether they're on a thrifty or not, we've seen them be deadly with these eco weapons. We've seen them time and time again win these thrifties against Dog. You put that Bucky in the hands of Natural, or you put the Bucky in the hands of GambleNats, and they always get a kill. Every round I've watched these guys with Buckies, they always manage to make something happen from it, and that's respectable, because if I have a Bucky in my hand, I almost always miss. It doesn't matter if I am 1 feet away from the person, so you gotta have a lot of respect for being able to make those shotguns work.
Oh yeah, I fully agree with that. The Bucky seems to be a random RNG machine, but GambleNats proving the operator certainly isn't. Gets the first kill onto Onyeka. Natural though, although he's blind, is able to get a kill onto Net Manager as they walk out of main. Osman though uses his knives to get that kill onto Natural in return. It is still a 4v3, could go either way. Definitely Carlos is set up. He has got his ults ready to shut down any potential plants, but the spike has been left in B main in the hands of LoFang. Osman on site, kind of just fighting by himself. He's about to get flooded though with util, the drone spotting him out. No one's capitalizing on it though. They're just holding. TFG happy to let Dogfight run into their lines of sight. Trip goes into the smoke. LoFang shooting it to avoid getting slowed, and they know he's there. LoFang has to rely on Osman to get a pick to help him out here. GambleNats set up that switch and gets the kill. And the tour de force putting in 4 kills for the round, securing it for TFG.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, that Sentinel pick. You don't typically see Chamber on this map, but if you have a Chamber like GambleNats who is not scared to pick things, he's willing to use his kit to get those picks, you can see the impact it has on the game. And arguably, Chamber will be a better pick on the offensive side for TFG. Maybe they'll be able to have more aggression and take these fights earlier. It does look like we're going to have another tech pause very quickly. Another connection issue. Hopefully it won't take too long. But yeah, it's turned into a 7-5 round on the side of TFG, which 5 rounds is a great result on the scent for the side of Dogfight. Arguably having that more defender-sided comp with the Cypher and the Omen utility, being able to use it for retakes a lot better, as well as the Yoru Flash, just being able to not deny lines of sight and even take aggressive space on both sides. It could be very difficult for TFG to find an answer here, but knowing the way TFG play, the odds stacked against them, they don't typically care. They're willing to just swing things and take the fights and turn it back into their favor. Yoshi, how do you think this half's going to go?
Seeing as how it is 7-5, typically we would call a defender-sided map. Getting 5 rounds is huge for Dogfight on the attack. It does put them into a pretty good position on defense, but they are still down by a couple of rounds. I think this match could go in favor of TFG very quickly if they are unable to secure some early rounds. If you fail that pistol round, chances are you're not going to get the buy round. However, in saying that, there have been some insane thrifties coming through from Dogfight and from TFG. Both teams putting in a hell of a fight for any rounds where they have to save money. So
It's
in saying
really
that,
not easy to place your finger on who's going to win, is it? Because even rounds that look like they are 100% in the side of either Dogfight or TFG, they just managed to pull it. I mean, on Yeka with that 1v2, and then Carlson immediately answering that in the thrifty, and then the 1v4 he manages to pull off towards the end there. Just like any round could go either way, and typically, especially on a map like Ascent, where sight lines and control of map win you the rounds alone, these teams are just saying, this isn't the way Valorant's played anymore. We're turning it back from the util spam that we've been seeing recently to the, we're just taking the gunfights. Each gunfight matters. Everyone who goes down is a huge problem for the team. And you can see it in the comps. There's not a lot of util that you would typically see. Like, for instance, on this map, we're used to seeing KO who will lock down sites, get flashes through, deny sentinel utility, all that sort of things. But we don't see a single real sort of flash initiator on either side of these teams. Both teams opting just for the scan initiator, and TFG specifically not even having a flash in the form of a Yoru or even an Omen, just sticking straight to the Neon Reyna comp, hoping that Reyna's flashes will be able to get them through these chokes on defense, which in my opinion will be really difficult, because I feel like on this map, in my personal experience, flashes are king. You need flashes to break those early entries. You need to get through the defenders' visions on those choke points in order to win. But it really comes down to these teams and how they like to play, because again, it's so unconventional what we're seeing, and the way these teams are playing, you cannot guess what's going to happen next. Every round leaves you on the edge of your seat. It's been an absolute treat to watch. The insane clutches, the insane gunplay, the rounds that just should not be won. It's impossible to tell.
Yeah, I agree, Crawlers. It's going to be rough for TFG. As you mentioned, no flashes except for Lears. Even then, can you really call them flashes when they're more near sights? But it is still something. Whether or not they're going to be able to capitalize on that is up in the air. We're going to have to wait and see for that. But both teams, they're on point. Their shots are landing. Precision gunplay is happening. But so much, I think it's going to be decided just by how well they're able to play with each other, play off of each other, and make sure that they are trading out their teammates.
You know what I am a little bit disappointed about, though, Yoshi? There's one thing that hasn't happened yet this game, and I'm hoping it happens because it would be hilarious if it did. We are yet to see a knife kill on this map.
True.
We've seen it on Pearl. We've seen it on Lotus. We're waiting for the knife kill on this map. Whoever wins this knife kill is the better team, in my opinion. I hate to say it, but I want to see another knife kill. I want to see one knife kill each round. They've already probably got the most in the entire tournament from what we're seeing so far in this one series. But another one would just be the cream of the crop. It would just make my night. I don't know about you, Yoshi, but I am very keen to see if we can catch another knife kill in this half.
I would love to see another knife kill. That would be amazing. I doubt it, but I would love to see it.
I mean, anything's possible, and these teams are proving that. Doesn't matter what comp you're running, as long as you got the aim, the confidence, and the skill to back it up, you can do anything. Again,
that is true.
That's what they're showing us tonight.
Looks like GamerNets is going for a bit of a lone hero play on A, though. Is he going to be aggressing hard? Maybe, who knows? But Osman quickly getting into the corner of B main. Set up there with Zorba to hold the angles there. Bombi poking his head out very, very slowly indeed, and misses the timing, but spots Osman as he runs out. He quickly pushes in, little jumping to clear it, and doesn't find much. Dart comes out. GamerNets starting to rotate back to his team, and Natural gets that first kill onto Zorba. Osman trying to dash out, unfortunately misses, but is able to get a kill onto very bad aim. before getting traded out by Bomb B. Lofeng, though, catching that mid lurk from Gamble Nats. It is a 3v3, 100% could go either way here. The fight in mid goes down, shots go through into Market's Pizza, but nothing is found. Dart comes out onto stairs, spots Bomb B and Carlson on site. Shock darts go out. Natural avoiding most of the damage, gets the kill onto Onyeka, gets the third for the round onto Manager before getting traded out by Luofeng. It is now a 1v2. Carlson and Bombi set up on site, just jiggling onto lane. Smoke goes down. All of a sudden, they have to question whether someone is there. Bombi still holding the stairs position where Luofeng's about to pick. Sees the elbow. Stuns comes through and chases the kill. Is it about to happen? No, it's not. Luofeng able to prolong his life and gets one onto Bomb B. That's his third kill for the round. But Carlson gets the trade immediately, and that secures the first round for TFG.
You know, these teams are starting to make me doubt my notions that this map is in fact defender-sided. I mean, we're seeing on both sides just dominance on the attacker side from either team. Natural just coming alive in that round, getting that early entry pick, and managing to get 2 more before getting pushed out of that really awkward corner to be able to fight in. Really solidifying that round for their team. TFG seemingly taking it a bit more seriously with Bombay, getting the stun. Normally would be running off that, trying to get the kill, but thought better of it and decided to play for time. TFG really in this to win it right now. Gamble Nats getting a huge pick.
2 seconds into the round, and that's the first pick down in favor of TFG. Outlaw being especially huge on these low shield rounds. Just a one-shot body shot, a cheaper operator. Onyeka, though, is set up in 1. Bombi's about to clear it, but it misses the shot, and Bombi is able to get that kill. Bombi also dashing onto site, stunning Zorba sitting within the smoke, and they're able to try and get someone set up in heaven. Natural pushing up, although the flash about to come through from Yoru. Ready in hand, pops through, but Natural shoots blind, gets the kill through the smoke. One more Manager set up at the top of ramp as well. Shots are missed though. Bombi able to escape with Natural, and the last 2 living members of Dogfight looking to find a pick here. There's a very strong hold on site. TK comes through, but Manager's able to pick kill onto Natural. Very bad aim spraying through the wall. Dart goes down. Intel is found. Gamonat's getting 1 more with that Outlaw, again putting in a lot of work. Luofeng, with only a frenzy in hand, let's look for any kind of pick he can get. Bombi is getting very aggressive at the bottom of ramp, just holding it in case he tries to escape. Swings through. Goes down to Spike along with Luofeng. Again, another attacker round down.
We're seeing really good plays coming through from TFG here. They're probably shifting to a bit more of a serious mindset. Even if they're still running it down, you can see they were prepared for Onyeka in Wine. They were ready. They've been working together, swinging off each other. It looks like they've dropped that run it down mindset, or rather they've adjusted it to a more let's run it down together rather than just taking random positions on the map and hoping for the best. It's yet to be seen how Dog are going to adjust to this.
And that controlled aggression is just huge. Natural shoulder peeking through, spots Usman in bottom mid. And smokes go down, obscuring any line of sight, meaning that sniper rifle gets almost no value now. And Bombi runs up into Cubby, securing that space. Luofeng knows he's there and holding him from tree as more people start to move in around mid. Again, another smoke coming down. Cutting off that line of fire, and the shock dart getting some big damage onto Usman there. Drone comes through, looking to clear that space, and it certainly is cleared. They know that the jet has moved back. Outlaw has moved back as well, but Luofeng is holding tight, ready to catch anyone trying to mosey their way on in, and Bombi certainly does. Sprints through, slides in, Bucky gets another kill. Again, the Bucky putting in huge work this game.
From all these Bucky kills.
Manager gets his own kill onto Carlson. That's the Sova diff right there. Natural getting the kill onto Manager in return, though. That's a trade. 3v4 in favor of TFG. Spike goes down. It is now a post-plant scenario. Zorba dropping the Vandal, thinks better of it. But Bombi gets his own pick. Zorba, though, getting his in return. Very bad aim going down. It is now a 3v2. And Gewanats misses the initial shot, but gets the kill onto Zorba. Onyeka, though, is there to trade, and he certainly does. Natural in dice, gets the shot, though, through to Onyeka. But Onyeka pushes through the smoke. Neon stationed up, ready to sprint out. Natural still sitting dice. He can see the barrel of the gun. Bombi is spotted and he gets killed. Yonyeki has to go for something here. Taps the diffuser, but has to either stick it or get the kill. And Natural sliding on through, getting the final kill of the round. Unfortunately, not able to outspace the bomb.
Maybe not quite a knife kill, but I'd argue that's probably more disrespectful than,
Oh,
than
yeah.
what we've seen. I don't know if we count that as what we were asking for, but you can see Natural TFG, they have the confidence. They know they're going to win this. The way they're acting, you wouldn't do that unless you were confident that you're going to win. Onyeka just not being prepared for something as goofy as that. And who could blame him? In what situation would that happen? You know, you got the blood pumping, you got the heart rushing, adrenaline going. You never know what's going to happen. And something like that is the last thing you'd expect.
Oh yeah, definitely Crawlers. But Natural still on fire. He gets the opening pick of the round onto Usman. That's the fight in B, and all of a sudden, TFG, Dogfight, they have control. Oh, sorry, they've lost control of that B main. Zorba in tree is able to get the running gun onto Gamonats and gets the second onto Natural. Precision gunplay right there, everyone. But he's left
This is
on
what I'm
5
talking
HP.
about. These are the crazy plays we're seeing from both teams. These guys just don't care. They're willing to do anything to make it
And
work.
Bombi slides out, definitely making even more magic work. And Onyeka getting the kill onto Carlson though. All of a sudden, Bombi getting a third kill. Holy, what a shot! What a flick! 1v1. Bombi is on 15 health as opposed to the full health from Luofeng. Luofeng repositioning the long way around to through ramp to heaven, not wanting to break the glass to give away his position. Bombi is set up at door, walks through the smoke, clearing the space. He has got time, he's got the sprint, he's able to fully pivot through to B. And Luofeng is currently none the wiser. Switch goes down. All of a sudden, that market door is closed, and Bombi is able to get a clean plant down. Luofeng, wising up to the fact that Bombi has rotated, is starting to come through defender spawn. And Bombi looking to sit and hold. Got a bit of an awkward position. Doesn't want to take any long fights considering he's at 50 HP. And Luofeng is unable to clear the corner. Bombi getting a 4K clutch. What a round!
That's an absolute masterclass from Bombi, though. That's the decision-making that will lead you to clutches. And again, we're seeing these clutches come through. Just insane gunplay, backed up by good decision-making. Sitting in that giraffe position, the position that's very difficult for a defender to clear. And also a position you just wouldn't expect when the bomb is planted on site. There's so many angles to clear, and that is generally the last one in your mind. Bombi maintaining composure there, being able to get those flicks that just win him the round, and just great decision making from him, managing to just pull the round to the side of TFG.
That's right, Crawls. And honestly, with the way the rounds are going, with Natural getting one more kill, that again, the opening pick in favor of TFG, it's looking like it could just start to snowball from here. This is a very crucial round that Dogfight needs to get, and Luofeng spots the players on catwalk, pulls off. Bombi still pushing into tree. And TFG are just kind of maintaining the space that they already have. They've got this control in tree and garden. They have the control in A main and mid, and they're looking to see what they can make work. And there we go. Bombi swings out, gets one onto it. He gets a second onto Luofeng, and all of a sudden, that's so much potential site availability opened up for them. They come through, darts come through, one into heaven, one into site, and they get destroyed on site. Blake goes down, planted at Jen. Usman clearing tree, but he's got Natural coming in behind, knife in hand. Are we about to see it? Are we about to see the knife? The knife comes out! Oh my god! Natural dismissing immediately, swings onto Manager at top of ramp, but unable to get the kill. Manager getting one. This is the start of a 1v5 clutch. Unfortunately, not Bombi getting the third kill of the round for himself onto Manager, and it is now 12-5 match point for TFG.
These teams have got to be listening to us, Yoshi. They heard our wish. They heard us wanting to get that knife. And again, we've seen another one. What does that bring us up to, Yoshi? How many knives are we looking at in this series? In these three maps?
Is that 4? Is that 4 or 5?
That's 4 or 5. Too many knives in these rounds.
Oh my god.
We're just seeing TFG so comfortable in this aggressive angles, these aggressive fights, just willing to win out all these early fights, and it's been paying off massively for them. Dog not being able to find an answer, but still holding their own, still getting insane kills.
And the hyper-aggression from this round, that instantly on B side, TFG, knowing they have rounds to spend if they start throwing. Natural gets the first kill again onto Usman. That's their fragger down for Dogfight. Onyeka, though, does trade back, getting his own onto Bomb B. But he gets the second onto Gamble. That's Natural, though, gets his second kill of the round onto Onyeka. He does get spotted, though, by the neural theft. Oh, it's slowed down slightly with both teams repositioning. Very bad aim, looking to take a fight at stairs, but it is holding the lane angle at the moment. Dart goes through, spots him at stairs, and Luofeng shoots through as he tries to reposition. Natural, though, getting the kill onto Luofeng and gets his fourth of the round, securing the map and securing the set for TFG.
Oh my goodness, Yoshi. We were in for an absolute treat tonight. We had seen on both sides, on Ascent, the attack side being stronger. Every single preconceived notion you have about the way these games get played, everything that goes on in these rounds, what you're used to seeing, these teams defied that tonight, showing that on Lotus, defender sides were a bit stronger than their attack, and then changing it around on Ascent, that is typically a defender-sided map, and both teams having a stronger attack. No fear, just straight brawls every single round, just insane showing from these teams. They are not scared. They take their fights. And seeing two teams that have a very similar approach to playing Valorant fight against each other, and these brawls, these rounds that were over in seconds, and then being able to change up that tempo, and then having longer rounds just randomly off of the back of a 10-second 3K, it's just insane to watch. And you never knew which team was going to pull ahead. But tonight, TFG showed that they had the balance between the aggression and the discipline, and they managed to pull the win 13-5 on Ascent and winning in overtime on Lotus. An absolutely insane showing from both teams tonight, and they should both be proud of how they played.
That's right, callers. Just an amazing experience. Both teams played extremely well, but unfortunately for Dogfight, they were not able to come out on top. And TFG will take away another win for themselves.
I imagine that we'll be having interviews shortly, just a short wait until we get everyone in here, and then we'll be talking to some of the players, seeing what they felt, what their plans were, if there was any plan at all, or what their thought processes were during these clutches, during these insane rounds. I imagine we'll be hearing that very soon. All right.
No stress if we need to end it. Yeah, easy as. But yeah, so we'll
Hey.
Well, welcome everyone. That was an amazing few maps to watch from all of you. How do we feel after finishing it? 2 maps to 1.
I feel very sad.
Very sad.
This one was on the other team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The
Close series.
I feel like Kyle should give his opinion.
Kyle had some very good calls that game, especially the Pearl map.
Yeah, close series, you know, good opponents, especially Usman. He was kind of breaking his back, just MVPing every map, you know. But they can't stop TFG though, you know. So.
What was it like
I'll
going
admit it.
up against a team that was very similar to yours in nature, just running it down, taking fights? You know, typically most teams will play that team play, but what we were seeing tonight was just brawl after brawl after brawl. Was there any time for comms, or was it just screaming and shooting for the most part?
It was mixed, to
Yeah.
say the least.
Definitely.
A bit mixed, but we managed.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun, just having to be able to just duel and duel.
Yeah, that's what we saw tonight. And again, you were all just defying expectation. Carl's with those clutches you got on Ascent, especially just really bringing the momentum in the side of TFG there. How were you feeling after that 1v4 that you pulled off on Ascent? Were you stressing or were you calm throughout that whole process?
Bro, you know, like I'm like ice cold under pressure, so like you already know I was calm. But like honestly, like what was really pushing me through it was like that is 1 a.m. for me right now. I'm trying to get to sleep. So I was like, yo, I gotta lock in on this map and bring us home. So you know what I'm saying? So I had to just lock in, you know.
The pressure to get some sleep is absolutely probably going to carry you through, and hopefully you'll be able to lie down and get some well-deserved rest after a great showing that we saw tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, what about that? What about that team comp that you guys pulled on Pearl? What was happening there? Were you guys overconfident, or did you just not care too much about that map?
Well, we always wanted to do a roulette, right? So at first we were thinking about Deadlock on Lotus, but then we said we'll go for a ranked comp on Lotus and just sort of go whatever we want with it, like the Chamber and the Clove. On the second map, we said, okay, we're gonna do the roulette because we thought we were ahead of time. We were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a 2-0. It's gonna be easy. A little bit of overconfidence. Obviously, we lost then. I feel like there was a few issues there, which was mainly comms and stuff like that. But overall, it was fine. And then on the third map, we said we needed to lock in because everyone needed to like go and sleep and stuff.
Yeah, and you could see that change from the Pearl, where you guys were still doing arguably well for the fact that you rouletted, managing to find utility from the comp of the random characters you got to be able to make it work for those first few rounds, but unfortunately slipping away towards the end, probably due to those issues that you were talking about. But you could see the difference between that and Ascent. It was looking not so great for you guys on defense at the start there, though. What was the thought process to really carry you through to attack? Were you guys planning to win attack from the start, or were you starting to get a little worried on the Ascent defense?
Natural said something that I really want to remember, which is that in the first, he said, first 2 rounds, no troll. I don't care what you do for the rest of the game, but first 2 rounds, we gotta win. And I felt like that sort of locked us in and got us the.
Then we won.
Yeah, then we just sort of won.
And then Toby
This guy
pulled
ended up
that off.
liking every round on attack.
Then Toby pulled off that 4K, and then we just like locked in.
Yeah.
You think that 4K just really just brought that mental up for the team, really solidified that you guys are going to win this, and made you all play honestly fantastically.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, did you see that flick? Like, who would not be like pumped up after that? Like,
yeah, that 4K from Bombay as well. Just
Yeah.
there was so many clutches from the side of TFG, and Dog also had some incredible plays, but you guys just managed to pull through towards the end, keeping calm under pressure, and I suppose that's what carried you guys through towards the end. So I just wanted to say congratulations to you guys for winning it through, and good luck for your future games. I have no more questions. Yoshi, have you got anything to add?
I gotta ask. The knife kills. How much was your chat popping off? Were people just hyping up when they got the kills?
I think overall, like the person who saw the knife opportunity was like so super hyped. I thought the most hyped one was the satchel one where the guy got satcheled into my knife.
Oh yeah.
Boy,
Yeah, where we caught a timeout because we really need to watch that back and stuff. Yeah, that one was definitely a highlight. I feel like also there was natural knifing Usman at the end. He was so excited, happy. That was like his like live stream right there.
What did I live with Demon?
He was like screaming at the top of his lungs, "Let me knife Usman! Let me knife Usman!"
I mean, hey, it worked, and it was an amazing watching experience. Just seeing you slowly creep up and finally just get that stab in the back. That was just so satisfying to see. I can only imagine how good that would have felt in the moment as well.
Yeah, man. Very, very good.
And obviously we have Usman here with us as well. Usman on the other side, pulling that match MVP a couple of times there. What was going on with your team? Were they setting you up perfectly, or were you just catching really good timings there?
I'm not gonna lie, everywhere where Nats wasn't, I was thriving. Everywhere where Nats was, I was in the dumps, bro. Like every
So you
time I
got a
saw
bit of an
Nats
arch nemesis going on.
No,
here.
no, no, not arch nemesis. Just straight up like, hey, he can take me for free. I can't do anything against Nats. And then, yeah, obviously there's Kyle. Like every time I even felt his presence, my mouth started shaking.
Okay.
I couldn't
Okay.
control the mouse properly. Like other than that, every time I saw Nacho, besides that knife kill, I didn't see him, so it doesn't count. But yeah,
Didn't see it, didn't happen.
Right.
There was some
Did-
knife kills on the side of Dogfight as well, and honestly, I think,
yeah.
I guess what the casters want to say, and probably the prod team, is that was an absolute treat to watch. You guys really defied expectations on all of those maps, showing that the side that typically wins was losing, and each one of you had insane individual moments. Each player on every team just getting insane clutches. So congratulations to all of you. You all played fantastically, and it was so fun to watch. So thank you guys so much, and I hope to cast another one of your games in the future. And for all those watching, hopefully we might see similar games.
Definitely. Hopefully, we can see more games like that in the future. Because again, as Cole said, amazing to watch.
I think, unfortunately, as many questions as I have left, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. It's getting quite late, so we might end the stream here. But thank you all for joining, and we're looking forward to the next round of games. Congratulations to TFG, and looking forward to the Dogfight, seeing if they can pull back and get into the playoffs after this loss.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Glitch Goal, well, what do we have to do now to qualify?
You have to win 2 games in a row, I think.
So for
okay.
Dogfight, they need to win 2 in a row, and for TFG, they just need to win 1 more game.
Out of 3, right? 1 out of 3.
Out of 2. Oh well,
Ooh.
3. Sorry,
Oh.
yeah, 3.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
So we'll just
2
throw our first 2
losses.
games
Yeah,
By-
yeah.
by
Make it more
accident.
interesting.
by accident.
We'll make it more interesting for you.
Okay.
I mean, if we throw only versus like, I don't know, a worse team, we get in. Trust. That's right.
Are we off stream, by the way?
Yeah, I will end the stream now. So goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
Go
Thank you,
sleep.
thank you.
GG's, everyone.
No,
Yeah, good casting. Good casting.
Great
Prod.
cast.